all paladin range for the win, baby. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a beginning, middle, or an end to a fantastic Friday. Welcome. Evil Rather, good to see you on Kick. What up, Taco? Justin, good to see you hanging out. Crossover Gaming, one button rotation. You mean you guys press more than one button? LOL, dude. No wonder why my DPS is so low, bro. Dude, no troll. They literally added the ability to just, in WoW, spam one button over and over. Quit slipping with the 5 gifted. Let's go! The absolute legend. Quit slipping from the bottom of heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're an S human being, and I appreciate you. God bless you. Absolutely insane Giga Chad. Spuds, welcome to Kick. Evil Rabbit, you're a legend. Appreciate you. Hogan's classic player here. I'm definitely spamming one button. Shred, dude. Bro, sometimes the chill mode is actually the vibe, dude. Like sometimes it's just the vibe, dude. And I'm kind of a fan. I'm kind of a fan. We're gonna do some actual testing. Yesterday we learned about where to actually go in and start doing this stuff, but today we're gonna dive in and we're gonna actually start messing around with the actual one button rotation. If you see it here on screen, it is my number 1 button. It's literally just one button that you just spam over and over, and it just does your abilities in the proper rotation. And I'm gonna put together my thoughts on how it feels. I put together my thoughts yesterday on what I think about it for the game, but today I'm gonna do some testing and formulate some thoughts on, do I think it's enjoyable? Do I think it's actually fun? Do I think it works well? Right, yesterday I talked about what I think about it in theory. Today I'm going to talk about what I think about it in practice. And I have a feeling I'm going to like it, but we're going to see. Well, we're gonna get caught up with the chat for a little bit while we're waiting for people to trickle in. Why is that screen black? Interesting. Interesting. It's supposed to be my my gaming monitor behind me. Let me go ahead and fix that, dude. There we go. But it's supposed to have the yeah, where's the blur, dude? I don't know how that got changed, dude. What are you gonna do? Oh, it's probably this. Ah, there's part of it. What's up, man? Bro, I think it's a fantastic addition to the game. Yeah, from a sheer just is this good from the game? I 100% think that it is just good for the game, bro. Absolutely. I want to test today just sheer fun factor. Will it be enjoyable? Will it make me want to play more alts and actually play with it a little bit? That's what I'm curious about. So Dratnos thinks it's good. Yeah, exactly. Common Dratnos W. Absolutely. Combat Possum, I'm determined to learn the Mist Monk the old-fashioned way, but I'll still use that guide they talked about to help you learn the rotation. That's the beauty of it, right? It's optional. Yeah, appreciate the like on YouTube. You're an absolute legend. God bless you. Welcome. Yeah, the beauty of it is it's optional. So if you're like, man, I don't want to play the game this way, you don't have to. Don't play the game this way. And the beauty of it is because of the global cooldown reduction. So if you guys don't know, I'll hover over it. This is the button right here at the top right. It says there is oh, and they changed it from yesterday. Yesterday was a 20% global cooldown reduction. They actually bumped it to 30%. So they actually made it even more of a penalty. Personally, I thought 20% was good. I don't want it to be... I mean, I'm sure they got a lot of feedback and people tested it. Maybe 20% wasn't strong enough. Maybe it was OP. I'm not sure. But apparently, okay, now it's 30%. Now it is actually 30%. This is pretty wild, man. I think you might underestimate how often people are actually clicking things on the GCD. Yeah, and that does take into factor like things that get used in the like people are using abilities in between the global cooldowns. That's true, quit slipping. Then you throw in haste. And so Taco says that 0.3 seconds is actually like 18% when you factor in haste. That's a really good point, dude. That's actually a really, really good point. You know what I might do to literally just make myself feel a little different? Is I might, because I don't know if I like just spamming the same button over again. For too many years, I have spammed many buttons that I don't know if I just want to spam one button. So I just made it my first 3 buttons, and I can just brainlessly alternate between the 3 of them. And it feels a little more normal. I like the movement of my thumb. I think my thumb would get stiff. Oh yeah, because I play with my mouse, by the way. So I think my thumb would get stiff if I just kept it in the same spot, spamming all day long. You know what I mean? So I think I might do multiple buttons, dude. Viking, you know me, who makes 1 button rotations for disabled. I am proud of WoW for doing this. I think it's 10 out of 10, bro. I think it's 10 out of 10. The only thing that I would have had a problem with is if there was no slight penalty for it, because then I would run into the scenario where I think it's a little bit unfair to people that have studied their rotation, really tried to master it, and now people spam 1 button and perform equally as good as them. I would have thought that's a little unfair, but because there's a slight penalty, I don't want the penalty to be like too insane, but something slight that there's a bit of fairness where it's like you're not going to be beating someone who's doing it manually, who put in the time to practice and actually knows what their buttons do. So I think with this, I think this is fantastic, man. And I do think this is going to make playing on console a lot more possible as well. Because now, bro, I'm just going to spam the A button on my Xbox controller, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely, Viking. Like, getting your kids to play. Like, dude, I can play any spec now without the multi-hour investment. Because it's already a multi-hour investment just to level it up. Then a multi-hour investment to get at least a little bit of gear. Then another multi-hour investment to actually like understand how to play the class. Now I don't need a multi-hour investment to play this Ellie Shaman, who I think is so cool, but I struggle to find the time to really, really, really sit down and like learn it. You know what I mean? This is, yeah, dude, Viking, new Unity guide. Hit the button, bro. Oh man. This is actually legit. So I'm gonna begin a journey of, we're gonna do 2 major things today. We're gonna be testing out the 1 button rotation, as well as looking at the new cooldown managers. If you guys see this in the middle of my screen, this is not the normal weak aura. This is actually built into WoW. I haven't tested it yet, and I want to do some testing. I'm on the PTR, and we're gonna dive on in. This is probably gonna be a video. I'm gonna do testing for the next 3.5-ish hours, and then I gotta go to commentate at the Fortnite tournament, which is lit. Stream's a little bit late today. I did post a Discord because the first Friday of every month I do a global call with other gaming ministries literally around the world, which is really cool. And so that's where I was this morning, 7 a.m. to 8:30, and then obviously turn the stream on. But the next several hours, I'm gonna be testing the 1 button rotation. I'm gonna try out multiple classes. I'm also gonna try it on tanking. How does it work for tanking? Of course, I'm assuming that I still need to press my defensives manually at the right time. And I kind of hope that they'll keep it that way, because I think that's important. And then I also want to check out the cooldown manager. I think that's the actual name. Cooldown manager. Yeah, I think that's pretty legit. So I'm gonna do a little YouTube intro, and then we're gonna go in and do all the testing, man. World of Warcraft has now added a literal 1 button rotation. You can see on my screen at the very bottom that 1, 2, and 3 are just literally this 1 button you press over and over again. Currently, I'm in the patch 11.1.7, testing this out. This is not available in game just yet, but it is being tested. And if you go to your spell book, pedal letter P, you'll see all the way at the top right, there is a single button assistant. Cast a rotation of damaging abilities for use in combat. Abilities used to the single button assistant occur an additional 0.3 second global cooldown. So there is a slight penalty for it. And do note, this is still in PTR testing, so it's still open to change. Actually, yesterday, it was a 0.2 second global cooldown reduction. Now they actually upped to the 0.3. I'm assuming they're still going to be changing it throughout time until it actually releases. I think that's probably to account for how does it actually feel? Is it beginning to feel OP? Overall, I think it's a great feature of the game. I shared my thoughts in the last video. Check that out. I'll put it in the description below. Now we're going to be testing. How does it feel? Is it fun? In the other video, I talked about really the theory of it, but now let's talk about the actual practice of it. So I'm here in Ellie Shaman, a class I've always thought is super cool. That is a lot of fun, but I've never really put the time in to learn it. What are the abilities? How do the procs work? What's the actual rotation? And it's held me back from being like, man, you know, I got a busy schedule. I've already had to learn the classes that I do play, but can I actually now just jump on this Ellie Shaman, have fun playing the game, dodging mechanics, doing dungeons, without having to learn the actual rotation? And what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into some dungeons. We're going to check it out. I'm going to try a few classes. They're going to give our overall thoughts. Again, not on the theory. I do think it's good for the game. But how does it feel? Is it actually fun in practice? Because as you see right here, I'm literally just pressing this one button. And you can even see that the ability that it's casting changes on this bar. And it is literally doing a full rotation. Now, from what I've seen so far, I do not believe that it does anything like defensives, any movement abilities. Like on a shaman, I've got Gust of Wind that launches me forward. I don't have all the keybinds set up here, but there's Gust of Wind. It doesn't do any of that. No utility like Thunderstorm. It does not interrupt for you. I haven't seen any totems being used like utility-based totems, but it is just damaging. Correct me, Beck. It doesn't do any like healing abilities. I do think it would work for tanking, and I am going to test that because tanks also have like damage rotations, but I don't think it's going to pop like the defensives for you. But we're going to find that out. This is literally going to be live testing in the moment. And so let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to sign up for a group. The problem is I have a feeling that so many people are probably trying to queue up as a DPS. And it says, dude, is there anyone doing it? Or maybe do some mythics? I want to really try to get into a group with this. Find a group. No, dude, no one's got a group going. I really hope someone does a group. Or I guess I could even just literally queue up for the follower dungeon. I could actually just do a follower dungeon. It says time in queue less than 1 minute. I'm not sure if I'm able to get into one, but worst case scenario, I literally just do a follower dungeon. And I mean, that should be, there we go. There we go. I wasn't finding a group for Heroic Dungeon. I wanted to get in the group really, really quick. Let's go. All right, I've now joined a simple follower dungeon, and I'm going to see, can I get through this entire dungeon with literally just spamming this one button? This is not going to be a DPS test. This character only has 612 eye level, so it's not going to be anything like that. But I do want to just see, like, how is the experience? How does it feel? Toggle allow a follower to lead the way. Tank, lead us. And once he pulls, I'm just going to literally start hitting the buttons, dude, and see how this feels. That target dies. I switch to the next one. So I'm still having to, like, tab target, change targets of my own, waiting for tank to pull. And I start going, dude. Now, I don't have any add-ons selected, so no nameplate or anything. I see that. I still got to move out of mechanics myself. Still got to move mechanics. And then I just go back to just spamming one again. So I like this because it actually allows me to really focus on mechanics more. Because I'm not, you know, for players that are laser focused on their bars, which is obviously, you know, not a great habit. However, as people are learning, that's something that a lot of people really do. But now I don't even have to really look down there. I can actually focus on my actual bars and frontal. So I'm going to dodge out of that, right? this actually becomes a really great learning tool. Could really help people with disabilities. Dude, this is actually, they kind of cooked with this, bro. They actually kind of cooked with this. And like it feels good. Now, obviously, is it boring to use? Is going to be, depending on who you're asking, depending on the player. But to be honest, I'm enjoying this. Like, I actually think this is really enjoyable. Dude, they kind of cooked with this, bro. They actually kind of cooked with it. Tank, pull that boss. Now, I do wish I was doing an actual mythic, because I would like a little bit of a higher difficulty. But like, there's that. I'm gonna get behind here because that's the mechanic, even though I don't have an arrow. Again, this is normal. I'm treating it like it's mythic plus mechanics. Okay, arrow's going towards me. It's gonna break the rock. I dodge. Get in spot. Dude, this is actually legit, bro. Yeah, and I still have access to manually do all of my healing abilities, all of my utility abilities, movement abilities. I don't have them keybound right now. Things like Gust of Wind. Because again, this is just the PTR. Dude. This could actually be sweet, bro. Because I have always wanted to play Ellie Shaman. I've always wanted to at least try Shadow Priest, because I think Shadow Priest just look cool, man. Let me know, chat. What is a class you've always wanted to try, but just didn't because of like the super high learning curve of learning the rotation of a new class? There's a ton for me. I'd probably be open to playing a mage or a warlock now, because I think those are super cool. Crazy. Daddy Crow, when does the one button rotation come out? It'll come out in 11.1.7. This right here is just the PTR for 11.1.7. But once this is released, it'll actually be in the game. But there's no time frame as to when that is just yet. Yeah, I still have to manually do all of my interrupts. Any crowd control, stuns. Like if I want to walk up and do an aftershock, still got to do that. You know, Gust of Wind. Again, nothing's keybound right now in this character, but it's putting just the rotation on autopilot. But obviously, if you play WoW, you know, like your rotation, yes, is a big part of your gameplay, but it's not the only part. There's movements, there's mechanics, there's interrupts, there's understanding group utility. You know, as an evoker, when's a good time for me to press my Zephyr? Like, you know, so I can reduce the AoE damage my group takes. Like, there's so many other things to really min-max your gameplay that are not your rotation. And now I can focus on those and not just the rotation. But what I love is for someone that for the classes I have put the time in to learn the rotation, which I find fun to think that through, and my brain's being stimulated on watching my procs and learning what I got to do. I can play those classes still manually if I want, because again, this is an optional feature. It feels great. It's going to be a damage loss because of the global cooldown reduction.
Welcome
dude, this is
to the
legit.
Penguin
Still dodging
Palace.
mechanics. Dude, this is sweet, bro. Magnificor with the 91 months, my guy. Let's go. Mag, I love you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You're an S-tier human being. A literal living legend. Mag, this, dude, this makes WoW so much more chill. Because sometimes I want to sweat it out when I play WoW. Sometimes, dude, I want to turn my brain off and just vibe. You know what I mean? And now I can do that. Now I can do that in retail, which is crazy. Crazy. Mag, I read it, but I had a meeting at 7 a.m. this morning. You guys hear that GTA 6 got delayed by a year? Bruh. Some thought it would. I guess some were right. Mag 11, bro. You're a legend, dude. Legend. Taco, that's actually really awesome because you can play a new class, learn the extra stuff and mechanics, which I think is the hardest part, and then add the rotation when you learn it. Yeah, dude, think about a new expansion, right? When you go into a new expansion, you don't know the dungeons, you don't know the raids, you don't know the mechanics, you don't know anything. And having to learn a new rotation because of a new expansion, that changes. Talents are changed, you have new abilities, so your rotation is different. And you're trying to learn all of that new stuff all at once. And now you could be like, hey, I'm gonna put this one button on. I am gonna learn the new dungeons, I'm gonna learn the new mechanics, I'm gonna learn the new raids. And then once I feel comfortable with those, then I will go back and I will actually learn my rotation. It's a big deal, bro. I think it's a really big deal. Can I show enhancement? Psh, why not? Don't. Psh. I was about to say I can't. I don't know how to play it, psh, but I got a button for that. Bro, I just have a button for it, dude. Oh, that is actually nuts, dude. I have a button for it, dude. Now, do I have weapons for this, though? That's the question. I guess we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Choose my hero talents? Sure, why not? Sure, hit some buttons. Dude, that's crazy. This is like real. Oh, crap. Starter build. Yeah. This is like in real time benefit of this button. There we go. Don't know how to play it, but I got the button for that. Now, I don't know if I have the weapons to be able to use it. And dude, here I am. It's my first time ever in my life. It's my first time ever in my life playing Hand Shaman. And now I can just spam the one button, dude. And now I'm a melee class. Yeah, I think I need 2 one-handers, and I don't have that. Can I be a 2-hander? I'm not even sure. Yo, what's up, pal? How you doing, bro? Pal, we're testing out the one button rotation, bro. And honestly, dude, it's fun, bro. It's fun. How does resto work? The one button rotation is not for healers. This is only for damage dealing abilities. I'm assuming it's also going to work for tanks to do their rotation. And then I think you're going to have to still manually do your defensives and stuff. That's my guess. We're going to try it out on a tank later today. So this is tough because I don't have the proper weapons. I don't think I could do this properly. Druzy, the legend, baby. Bro, how you doing, man? It's good to see you, my guy. Bro, loved seeing you in the global call today, bro. Super cool, man. Super cool. Coach, that's actually true, bro. You could probably play like a disc priest. Spam those buttons. Let's go, man. Big Beck, it's a daily battle, brother. But, well, I wouldn't say little by little we're getting better. It's just always that battle in the mind, bro. Just remembering to cling to what God says about me and not what my own brain wants to tell me about me. But it's been worse than normal. Just the inner struggles of the mind, bro. Beating yourself up, being real negative. So just always like, I feel a lie in my head and I tell myself the truth. It's just an all-day battle. All-day battle. Let's go, man. Love seeing you in too. Always hanging with the XP fam. Let's go, dude. Let's go, brother. Bro, believe in what you're doing, man. Coach, yeah, bro. It's been worse for me than normal, bro. It's been worse for me than normal, for sure. AJ Valdez, brother. Yeah, well, Hoagies, you don't have to have a character on the PTR. You can just literally make a max level tank. Oh wait, can't you though? In the PTR, can't you make a max level character, or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, when you tried, it was level 70. Oh, I thought you could do it. Okay, so for example, mechanics. All right, I'm getting ready. And then I go back to pressing my one button. Aren't the NPCs supposed to do mechanics properly? Oh, I guess technically you don't need to be on this vent that I'm on. And I still have to make sure they're dying equally and stuff. I'm on the vent. Dude, this is legit. This is actually legit. What's up, Justin? God bless you, friend. Thanks, not my homie. Icon lady, enjoy that good old lunch, my friend. Druzy, how's the move overall been? You and Amanda doing well? Bro, moving to Oregon, I think, was one of the best things we've ever done in our lives, bro. Hands down. So, Druzy, I don't know if you know my wife's health situation, but my wife gets about 20 migraines a month from varying degrees of pain to the lower end being like, oh my goodness, my head hurts so freaking bad, but I've been dealing with this since I was a child, so I've just learned to function. And you see me smiling and getting work done, but if you were in the amount of pain that I was currently in, you would probably just be in bed. All the way to in bed all day, throwing up, don't turn the lights on, do not make any noise or talk to me. 20 of those a month, in the range, somewhere in those range. Since we moved to Oregon, she has not had a single bad migraine. Now, she's had some creep up and she has medication, takes the medication, and boom, she's good as new like 30 minutes later when she feels it just creeping in. So she hasn't even, it's been life-changing for her, bro. Life-changing for her. When we lived on the East Coast, her medication was helpful, but it didn't do much. Like, it didn't do much because the barometric pressure on the East Coast shifts, especially in the Southeast where the thunderstorm and stuff, it shifts so much. And those trigger migraines for her all the time, bro. All the time. And right now, this time of year where we used to live is heavy migraine season for her. In the spring, she's down for the count, dude. Like, it is super rare that my wife doesn't have a migraine. Here, bro. Now, we've only been here for a month, but all of our research and experience, because we've been here during the summer and the winter visiting for short periods, lead us to believe that she should feel better. Now, we're not expecting her to never get another migraine again, but she has been so much better. She feels like she has her life back. And bro, I'll be honest, where I live now is significantly more expensive than where I used to live. There's no doubt about it. There's no amount of money that I wouldn't pay, or if I didn't have it, figure out a way to get it so my wife can have her life back. There's nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Whatever that takes, bro. Whatever that takes. Whatever it takes, bro. Then on top of that, bro, the ministry opportunity has been insane, dude. Like, Druzy, I wish that almost all of us that are doing like gaming ministry were in the same area, just to collab, dude, just to connect, just to brainstorm, just to meet together and pray and talk. Me and Jamie Zeefels, Satellite Gaming, have been doing that. Life-changing, bro. Life-changing. And I'm like, dude, if there was more people in a local area, I understand not all of us are going to move to Oregon for sure, but like, I want for others what now I've experienced here. And I'm like, dude, people should just find ways to be in person more. Like the different orgs and ministries, bro. Like, and it's been so beneficial. And dude, like literally tonight, guys, I am commentating at a Fortnite and Super Smash Brothers tournament, which is going to be hey, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me, bro. NPCs, am I right? Am I right? That Satellite Gaming is doing. Like, it's sick, man. And then on top of that, I just think the Pacific Northwest is the most beautiful, breathtaking place on the entire planet. We have now completed our first dungeon using the 1-button rotation. I cannot tell you how smooth that was. As someone that doesn't have the time to really sit down and try and master another class, but I think Ellie Shamans are so cool. I love the aesthetics. I think they look awesome. I love their utility kits. The ability to log on and just have fun playing the game without needing multi hours of like research and study is massive. So do I have my classes that I want to like sweat out and like really master my rotation and do it manually? Absolutely. But are there other classes that I'm like, I don't have the time not only to learn it, but then to remember it and then, you know, bounce between classes? I can only do that with so many classes before I start forgetting how they all work. This is fantastic. This is literally fantastic. I think it's a great addition to the game. Next, I want to test how it works for tanks, because that will be really, really big. All right, I'm gonna actually create a copy of my Paladin. I'm gonna go from there. Dun, dun, dun. Let's go. Coach, Kylan and I might be pushing our wedding back another year. If that happens, possibly be able to go to BlizzCon. Coach, send me a DM, bro. What are your thoughts behind pushing it back, bro? Would love to hear that, man. Ox, I wonder what the DPS would look like. I have nothing to compare it to because I don't play Ellie Shaman, but ideally it should be about 30% less. Ideally. So let me copy my Paladin. Not that one. Yes. I want to copy. Yes, copy all the keybinds. I also want to copy account data. Sure. And then I want to copy the actual character. And there's my Paladin. I want to go tank a dungeon and see how this will feel. Even though I'm probably going to destroy it because my gear is so high for a follower dungeon. Druzy, much love to you, brother. We'll see you on the flip side, my dude. Dun, 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 dun. Tonight's event is a great plug opportunity for Advanced GG. Dude, you do not show up to someone else's event and plug your own sponsors. That is a clear way to never get invited back. Oh, dude. That's the fastest way to get fired and never invited back, dude. Oh, you guys crack me up, man. Don't crack me up. All right. No, not cool. Well, I actually do want to use the cooldown manager. I'm going to move some of these bars real quick. Actually, you know what? Can I import? I probably could. Yeah, let me actually, guys, real quick. Let me log into my main WoW, my like real account. Just get the profile code, then I'll come back to the PTR. Show up, be like, these are nice chairs, but you know what chairs are nice? Check the sport. Use code Susie for 10% off. Let's go, dude. I actually thought about bringing mine. I thought about it, dude. Dun, dun, dun. Ox, now the PTR is live, it'd be cool to see two people DPS with very similar gear and knowledge of the rotation. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to really test unless you test it yourself with a damage meter on a class you know how to do manually, and then switch to that exact same class on a druid and see where your DPS is. Sorry, on the rotation button and see what it is. And I actually could do that. I actually literally could test that. So Gherkin, no, it's the PTR, the public test room, where you can test like future content before it's released. That's the other account I keep logging on. All right, let me edit mode and share copy. Okay. Then back to the PTR. 1.1.7. Let's go. Bump bump. Da 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 da. Yo, Gherkin, are you gonna be there tonight? I know you were in the call this morning. It was good to see you. But are you gonna be at the tournament? Bro, it's like so cool knowing other gamers local in the area. And then we like go to like events and stuff together, dude. I'm just gonna make a statement. Some of y'all might agree and I respect it. I just don't even really want non-gamer friends, dude. I'm just not even interested at this point. Like, if you're not a gamer, my life is too just engulfed with gaming that if you don't game, you're just, our paths are just not gonna cross at this point, and I'm cool with it. Main new import. Oh, perfect. That worked the way it should. That worked the way it should. All right, let me actually just move this cooldown reduction thing, cooldown manager, whatever it's called, because this thing is cool, dude. This thing is actually cool, bro. So if what is it, icon size? Yeah, I guess icon size, right? Yeah, and I can perfectly fit this. I just make it 60 to 70, and then tracked buffs. Yeah, this I want to see how accurate those are going to be. I'm very curious. And then where's my utilities? Utilities down here. And can I fit them all onto one row? I can. So this is their idea of basically replacing people's need for a weak aura. And I want to see how that actually works, man. Now that I'm on a tank, oh, and I got to put the single button on my bars real quick. Body with the 10 gifted! Body, you are an absolute, literal, living legend. God bless you, bro, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. It is super generous of you. You now just made it so that 10 people do not have to watch ads for the next 30 days. You are an absolute giga chat, and I appreciate you. My goodness gracious. Body count, how are you, friend? It's good to see you popping in. I appreciate you. Literal living legend. My goodness gracious. Now, I don't know if people are actually using Q Finder, and I didn't actually see people doing, yeah, no one's doing permade groups. So I may have to just stick to follower dungeons, because, yeah, there's like literally no one using it. So I'm actually going to leave Q. We're going to do follower dungeon again. Do all of these bad boys. Find group. Hogus, I'm still super unfamiliar with the area, man. Still super unfamiliar with the area. So someone else might know better. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Let's go, let's go. Come on, get me in, Blizzard. Blue bar boss is the worst. The worst. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Bum, bum. Oh, it's probably like I would guess like a month-ish or so. I think maybe. Let me see. Dude, Body, the day's going really well, man. Started the day off with the first Friday of every month. I'm a part of a global call with other people that do gaming ministry from literally around the world. Like I'm talking Egypt, Brazil, Tajikistan, like Madagascar, obviously America. They're literally everywhere. And we just get together, talk strategy, encourage one another, have great community. It's give updates. It's like really, really cool and just humbling when you realize how big the world is and how little our actual awareness of everything in the world going on actually is. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And now we're streaming, bro. And then later tonight, I am commentating in a Fortnite Super Smash tournament. It's gonna be a sick day, bro. And then tomorrow at XP Church, I'm starting a brand new series called Dangerous Doctrine, bro. I am freaking pumped, dude. And right now we're testing the new 1-button rotation. We just tested the rotation on a Elemental Shaman. Now I'm gonna test it on a tank. Now, what I have a feeling that it will do is it'll do my it'll do my tank rotation properly, but it won't do my defensives properly. I'm assuming I'll have to do those manually. But one thing I am wondering about is my Shield of Righteous. Will it put down my Shield of Righteous? Palace. Yo, Kraken with the 12 months, bro. 1 year, bro. You realize that you just upgraded to the top floor of the good old Penguin Penthouse? Now that you've been in for 1 year, bro, you're getting upgraded to the top floor. Bro, I love you. You're a legend. And you are an S-tier human being, bro. Seriously, God bless you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And dude, drive back home to visit the wife. Let's go, man. 800 miles, that's far, bro. Sheesh. Drive safe, man. And dude, you got a long drive. So you're gonna need to listen to the second podcast. It's out and available now. If anyone wants to check out episode 2 of the podcast, that link won't work. There is the link right there. Desdorf, that's my camera just not working properly. It's really dumb. Really dumb. Now that I'm testing this on a tank, what I assume that it's gonna do, I'm assuming it's going to do my rotation properly, but I don't think it's gonna do my defensives at the right times, which I'm assuming I have to do manually, which I'm cool with. But another thing I want to check, is it going to have my consecration down so I get the defensive benefits of it? And is it going to keep uptime on Shield of the Righteous so that as a tank I don't get absolutely obliterated? So that I am very curious. We're gonna find out. I am going in manually with some holy power. Whoa, there's some lag. Okay, it consecrated. Now, is it going to use Shield of the Righteous? Or maybe that I have to do, man. Dude, it did Shield of the Righteous. But will it keep uptime, though? Will it actually keep the uptime? And without my weak aura, it's really hard to tell, to be honest. I need a little more testing. I can still manually go in with max holy power if I want. Now, the bummer is, for example, right? Normally, I would pull out a range. With a ranged ability, maybe my hammer, maybe Avenger Shield. But right now, it's recommending that my first button be Consecration. I don't want that. Well, that's actually not true. Because it'll give me the 4 seconds of damage mitigation, and then I run in and do it again. I am very curious. I run in Consecration. It did Shield of Righteous. But will it actually upkeep Shield of Righteous? It did it again, bro. Whoa. Now, I will say this. Some downsides here, okay? Downsides. It is using things like Avenger Shield. It is using things like Divine Toll. Just randomly on a whim as a part of the rotation. And not exactly great, because then you're not saving them for like great interrupt moments. So this, again, it's a learning tool, but it's not using things the most optimally, which makes sense, right? This is not meant to be a min-max, like you're gonna be the best player in the world type button. Excuse me? Excuse me, game? Will my one button save me now? That is absolutely wild. Huh? Blizzard, you can make one button play the game for me, but you can't make me land on a boat? I digress. I don't know what's happening, dude, but we're here for it. Come on, let's land on the boat, shall we? Let's land. There we go. We are on the boat. We are on the boat, bro. My goodness. So the way this works, Gherkinsteel, is Blizzard literally put a 1-button auto rotation in the game for us. Just 1-button auto rotation. It is not customizable. You cannot change what buttons go in it. You cannot change, you know, the order the buttons getting pressed. It is an auto button that Blizzard decides for you. It is meant to be like a learning tool, or if you just want to chill out and not have to focus so hard on your rotation. This is cool, man. And I will say, like, as a tank, is this as optimal as tanking manually? Not even close. I can tell that it is not keeping my Shield of Righteous uptime as much as it should be. It's decently close. I'm actually going to test it a lot during this next boss. That's really what I want to test. And I'm actually going to edit mode. Yeah, I'm going to put this timer right here so I can really see if those timers are working properly. Did they not click the barrels? Oh, I have to click the barrels. Okay. I'm the only actual human in this group, so I have to click this button. So Legito's Live, this button does not work for healing. It is meant only for damaging abilities. That's why even on tanking, it's going to be questionable. But tanks do damaging abilities, but there's other parts of tanking that are not just damaging abilities. So what I want to see right now is its upkeep on my Consecration and its upkeep on my Shield of Righteous. So starting with the Avenger Shield, not bad. Then Hammer, then Consecration. Okay, this is my Consecration and my Shield of the Righteous. Consecration is about to expire soon. Will it have me do another one? Okay, well, the mechanic kind of threw that test off. Hard part about this is too, because this is a follower dungeon, so everything's gonna die pretty quickly, making it so that it's hard for me to really test this stuff. I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, boss is almost dead. Here's Consecration. I'm building up Holy Power. He does Shield of Righteous. And the boss is dead before I can really test it again. Oh, but dude, he did. Let's see if it'll do Consecration. He didn't do it. I'm just going to bubble this so that I live. I'm just testing the rotation feature. Okay. It's hard to test in here. This is hard to test in here. I bubbled. I literally bubbled. Interesting. And this is not a mythic, so I don't need percentage. So honestly, I'm probably just gonna go to the next boss. Let's check it out, shall we? Now this boss is gonna be a lot stronger. Nah, he's still getting destroyed. Because we didn't do any of the mini bosses. So Consecration, Shield of the Righteous are both about to expire. Okay, Shield of the Righteous, he did again. Consecration, will he do again? Okay, so late on the Consecration, but Shield of Righteous has been pretty good. I popped the defensive manually there. Consecration is back. Shield of Righteous is up. Shield of Righteous again. So he's keeping decent uptime. Not perfect. There's Shield of the Righteous. Now, some of that might be it not being able to use Shield of the Righteous as often as possible because, again, the global cooldown is slower, which means I'm building less Holy Power, which means I might not be able to. I had 3 Holy Power there. He did it. Consecration is up. I built 3 Holy Power. He did it again. My Holy Power is running out. Okay, he didn't do it because I have no Holy Power, but then as soon as I got it, he did it. Wow, bro. As soon as you have the Holy Power, he is activating Shield of Righteous as a priority. Wow, bro. Dude, I'm impressed with that. I did not think it would do tank things like mitigation and uptime. Wow. So this may actually be decently applicable for tanking. Still gonna have to do your defensives manually, which I like, because that, for me, that's really the art of tanking, is properly using your defensives, grouping mobs. For me, tanking is really actually very little about your rotation. It's mostly about so much of the mindset that goes into being a tank. So, building up holy power, he maxes out the 13-second Shield of the Righteous. Consecration is running down. Max out Shield of the Righteous. Will I do Consecration? Okay, so it does let Consecration fall off. He still has not done it again. Still has not. Okay, there. So he let like 4 or 5 seconds go by without Consecration, which a real tank wouldn't actually do. But again, this is not meant to be better than a real player. That's the point, right? I don't want this to be better than a real player. But it's good enough to get you started and even play the game at a relaxing, chill level if that's what you want to do. That is actually legit, bro. Yo, by the way, Zach Pierre, welcome, my friend. Hope you know that you're loved and valued. You're an S-tier human being. God bless. My name is Pastor Susie, and in this stream, we are on a mission to bring an end to toxicity and loneliness in the gaming community. I'm glad to stop, my friend. If you like talking in chat, feel free to let us know, hey, what part of the world you from? What games you play? Would love to connect. Discord link in the chat right there. Come join us. We'd love to have you. Let's go, man. Oh, Stiffy, you might totally be right, bro. It might be accounting for the fact that even when Consecration is gone, I keep the buff for 4 seconds. Dude, I'm gonna count. After Consecration goes away. Oh. Well, I can't test it, but I will test it on a dummy. I'm gonna go test it on a dummy because I'm very curious. Yeah, the boss got absolutely obliterated. Yeah, let's go test this on a dummy, bro. I want to see this. Bro, Sujay from Russia. God bless, friend. Let's go. Zach Pierre, you play Havoc DH main. Nice. BM Hunter ult and Ret Pally ult. Which tank would you recommend? Are you looking for a easy to learn tank? Or are you looking for just what I think maybe would be the most fun? What are you thinking? Why won't it let me hearth back to Dornigal? Won't let me use my toy effect. I would recommend Guardian Druid then. Guardian Druid is, I think, good for a few reasons. It's easy to learn. It's got a very simple rotation. The one button here would probably definitely work. And then you've got so many options. Like if you are like, hey, I really like Druid, but I want to change a pace from Guardian. You can be Resto, you can be Feral, you can be Boomkin. Technically balanced. It's legit. Super legit. So what I want to test here, I gotta test this, dude. This is crazy, man. I want to see about that 4-second Consecration rotation. Can you effectively tank on a Protection Paladin with the new button rotation? One button rotation? Let's find out. Consecration is down, which is obviously important for tanking. Shield the Righteous is down. It's about to expire. I build up holy power. He does it again. Consecration expires. Will it last with a 4-second buff for Consecration? 3, 2, up here. 1. Will he do it again? Oh my goodness. He instantly did it as soon as that buff expired. I'm doing damage. Consecration about to expire. Up on my buffs up here. Consecration. 3, 2, 1. It's like a second delayed. But dude, that is actually nuts. That is actually nuts. I've had almost 100% uptime on Shield of the Righteous. Remember, there is a now 30% global cooldown reduction. So if your global cooldown is longer, you're building holy power slower, which means sometimes you might not have the holy power needed to cast Shield of the Righteous. But my goodness, bro. This is crazy, dude. This is effectively tanking. Now, I would still have to cast all of my defensives manually when mechanics are coming out, my utility. The downside of this is it is using my Shield of the Righteous, sorry, Avenger Shield and Divine Toll just whenever, rather than strategically saving it for interrupts. But again, this is not meant to be better than a real human. This is a great starting point, or if you're just looking to chill and kind of press some buttons and have some fun without needing to min-max the game all the time. This actually works super well, and I think it's going to be an incredible addition to the game without being better than people have put in the hard work to master a class. I think this is freaking sick, dude. I think it is sick. So Stiffy, I was looking at my buff, and I was actually counting according to the buff. I had my mouse hovered over it. It was literally looking at it. So there it is again. Consecration falls off. 3, 2, 1. And then there it is again, dude. That is so crazy, dude. I am blown away by that. Blown away by that, dude. And would this really replace my weak aura? That tells them in consecration. This shows me that I have 2 charges of this, so that if I use Shield of the Righteous again, I will get a free Word of Glory proc and be able to heal. Does that pop up on here too? No, I don't see that. That would be an important piece of information that as a paladin, I need to know. I need to know when I have a free Word of Glory. But that's another conversation about why I don't think that this is probably going to be better than the actual weak auras people use. That is crazy, dude. I am actually blown away by that. Blown away. I could take away the talent and see if it changes. Where is that talent? I forget. Consecrated ground, I think. Is that what it is? Is it this? No. Where is that? Is it here? Yes, it's right here. If I remove that, I'll just put it somewhere else. I just screwed up a whole lot of things, but whatever. Random. Sure. Why not? Okay. So, now that I change that button, will he just always put consecration down without the 4-second buff? Let's find out. So it's up right now. So ideally now, like 1 second after this expires, he should do consecration again as fast as possible. Let's see if it will. It expires now. Oh my goodness, it accounted for it, dude. That is actually nuts, bro. Zach Pierre, I'm gonna go prop paladin all day. Dude, it actually accounts for your talents. That's literally nuts, bro. That is actually nuts, bro. Wow. Wow, 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 bro. And I gotta say, dude, this cooldown manager, this is good, bro. It's not as good as the weak aura, but this is good, bro. And this timer right here, this is super helpful. This is super helpful. No, I think what it is, Mochawang, is I think one of 2 things happened. I think Blizzard started listening to the community, and 2, they got bought out by Microsoft, and I have a feeling Microsoft has a hand in a lot of this. I have a feeling that they're like, hey, bro, make your game better. Dude, I literally can't believe this. Now, dude, I want to try something, bro. That actually blows my mind. And they said it. Yeah, I agree, Desdorf. I would have been surprised that if it didn't account for it. Ian said it would account for your talent changes, but I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. So that is just wild, bro. Absolutely wild. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do next, man. I am gonna log on to a class I literally know nothing about and see how it plays. I am gonna log on to a Shadow Priest. I literally know nothing about a Shadow Priest. Try the tank dummy, see if it procs you bubble. I have a feeling it won't, but it's a good call. Now, where's the boss one? Is it you? I think it's this one, right? I'm pretty sure this is the one. Maybe I'm wrong. No? No, the big guy? What big guy? Oh, this big guy. Let's see. I don't know if he's... How hard does he hit, dude? And it's probably not going to heal myself either. Like, will it cast Word of Glory? Probably not. But dude, my gear is so strong. I don't know if... I don't think this thing can kill. Oh, well, I'm beginning to lose health. Oh, you're right. The longer you fight, the stronger he gets. You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right, Desroy. It did say only damaging abilities, so it's probably not going to use Word of Glory. Dude, this is crazy. I'm assuming it's not going to bubble. Because again, it's only damaging abilities. Yeah, it's not going to use your trinkets. Mag, with all these changes that are making to the next Xbox, they are adding Steam to it. I think they just said we want to put WoW on Xbox. Go fix it, bro. This one button would make playing this on console so much more applicable, dude. So much more applicable. Yeah, no, I have a feeling this is just straight up gonna let me die. Frosty, this is sick, bro. This is super sick, man. No, Word of Glory doesn't cause any damage. No, yeah, it's gonna kill me, bro. Yeah, okay. All good. Bro, this is absolutely insane. Copy character. Pass through to the priest. Bro, this is crazy. I've always wanted to play Shadow Priest. Well, not always, but for a while now. But same thing. I'm like, dude, I don't have the time to put in to like learn and practice and master the class, bro. Let's try it out, shall we? Now, friends, I'm logging on to a Shadow Priest, which I literally do not know how to play. But again, ooh, I wonder if this could work. I feel like it would half work. It's not worth trying. At least not right now. Again, they specified damaging only abilities. So I'm on this priest. No idea how to play it. I go up here. I have the one button rotation. And then I'm going to queue up for a follower dungeon. Let's see how it plays. Dude, I think this is sick, bro. I think this is so sick. Yo, friends, who's gonna come watch the Fortnite and Smash tournament tonight? It will be also on my stream channel. Dun, dun, dun. Yo, AJ, are you listening, brother? I know you were here earlier. I thought of something last night. I forgot to text you. Dun, 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 dun. Well, Ox, I mean like completely off the one button. AJ, real quick, man. Those backgrounds for the tournament tonight you made, can you make literally just one with the background and then throw the showdown logo just in the middle, nice and big? I'm just going to put a countdown below it. Are you able to make that, bro? And then I could use it as an outro screen. If you have like a second. Ooh, and then maybe one more at the bottom. Yo, you know what, AJ? Actually, I'm going to type in a chat. Can you make two? One that also says starting soon, and then one that says thanks for watching. That would be legit if you've got a second, bro. If not, all good, brother. Wait, where's my one button? Where's my one button? Wait, why am I disc? Oh, I queued up as healer. This is a failed experiment. We're starting over. AJ, you're an absolute Giga Chad. Bro, Olajuwon, my fellow co-host for tonight's good old tournament. Sweet Olajuwon will be there. Hoagies, you're going to meet him. Zephos is going to be there from the chat. You're also going to meet Gherkin. He's going to be there tonight from the chat. I think that's probably it. There's one other person who watches my stream once in a while who will be there. Her name's Borgle, but I don't think you would probably even know her name. Bro, Olajuwon, I'll be there by like 12:30-ish. 12:30-ish. And then we got quite a bit of setting up on the actual PC to do before the tournament tonight. But dude, we'll be rocking and rolling, bro. We'll be rocking and rolling, dude. Okay, crazy. I'm on the Shadow Priest. Here's the one button rotation. The first button it tells me to press is to activate Shadow Form. Wow. So it could detect that I was not properly informed, dude. That's crazy. We tell the tank to do its thing. And then we're rocking and rolling. I have no idea how to play Shadow Priest. Dude, it applied my dots for me first. Okay, dude, that is actually literally insane. And let me just make sure all my abilities are on my bars. Because one thing I don't know is, will it use abilities if they're not on your bars? That is definitely a question I don't have an answer to. I'm not sure about that. But I think Shadow Priest looks so cool, dude. And now I can... Dude, what the heck, man? This is sick. This game has never been alt friendlier. It's never been alt friendlier. Oh, first of all, let me make sure I got my talents. Starter build. And then I'll just pick, sure, why not? Actually, I'm gonna do Void Weaver. That just sounds cooler. Dude, what the actual crap, dude? This is sick. Here I am, bro. Spam my button, dude. It's applying dots. I still got to move out of mechanics manually. Still got to do things like stuns and interrupts manually. Bro. This is so cool, man. Now, I will say, for someone who enjoys playing your class manually, for me, that is part of the fun, right? That is part of the fun, part of the challenge. But not everyone plays the game the same. Not everyone defines fun the same. Like, for me, what some classes have that I love is their rotations feel fun and enjoyable. And obviously, smashing one button's not going to feel that same way. You're not going to feel the synergy between your buttons because you just have one. But what I also love about WoW is the immersion. I love the aesthetics. I love the dungeons and dodging mechanics and Again, there's things I still have to do manually, like interrupt, stun, use movement abilities, mobility abilities, like, so it's not all manual, it's just the rotation. And now, dude, I can play classes I've never played before. This game has never been alt friendlier than when the 1-button rotation is gonna come out. I still gotta dodge that manually. Like, dude, this is sweet, dude. So if I want movement, still gotta put the feather down and then go back to my rotation. Dude, this is crazy. Wow, I got pulled in. Put a feather down and dodge away. Let tank pick it up, and then boom, back to the rotation. This is sick. This is actually sick, dude. And then after this, I am going to try a little bit of Disc Priest to see how that works, because Disc Priest is technically a healer, but it does most of its healing through damage. So we'll see how that'll work. But this is sick, man. Like, I'm playing Shadow Priest, and I don't know how to play Shadow Priest, and it doesn't matter because I got a button. Now, I will say though that for some people that's going to take the fun out of it, because they like, again, the synergy of their buttons. But this is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and leave dungeon. There's no penalty for leaving a follower dungeon because they're NPCs, right? I'm not actually like wasting anyone's time or anything. So let me go and check this out, because this is sick, dude. We change back to disc. Now, holy would not work. Remember, this is not meant for healing. It's just meant for damage. Tanks somewhat work as long as you manually use your own defensives. And then sign up for another group, but this time I'm going to sign up as healer. Dude, this is legit, bro. This is legit. So now I am disc, right? Yes. Will I be able to effectively heal the team as a disc priest who does their healing through damage using the 1-button rotation? Because disc priests do their healing mostly through damage. So let's check it out. This is legit, bro. No. Yes. All right, you follow me. No, you take the lead. Start pulling. There we go. I'm just spamming. I'm literally spamming 1 button. Now, some of it may be hard to tell as well, because remember, it's a follower dungeon, so people aren't really taking that much damage. People are losing health. I'm losing health very quickly. Very quickly. I healed a little bit. But I mean, if this was a mythic 0, we'd all be dead already. Hands down. If this was a mythic 0, we would literally all be dead. No doubt about it. Yeah. I would say this does not work. Am I applying attunements? No, I'm just literally pressing the 1 button. Now, could you manually do a few heals? Here's what you could do, right? You could manually apply your heals and then use 1 for your rotation. So that's one thing. Maybe you're a healer and you like to manually heal, but you also want to add some damage, but you don't want to think through your actual rotation. What you could actually do is, when there's not much healing that needs to happen in that moment, you could set your rotation to the 1 button and just use that when you're not actively healing people. So that's pretty cool. So I actually want to test that. Let me leave group. Dun, dun, dun. Why can't I leave group? Oh, I did. Dun, dun. Oh, Moon. Target a teammate and push your one button. You know what? We have to try that. We have to try that. Good call, Moon. Maybe I have to manually click on them. We're going to see if that works. That's a great call, Moon. I want to see how effective Disc Priest can literally just... Again, I only want to press the one button. Just the one button. I don't want to be manually spreading attunements. How effective will it be with just the one button? We're going to find out. Yeah, you lead the way, bruh. You lead the way. All right, starting out, just damage. And if anyone loses health, I'll click on them. Let's see. We're giga pumping right now, dude. My damage is insane. Just kidding. I have no idea. My meters are literally off. I turned off all add-ons. Come on. Put a little feather down. Move faster. Yeah, I'm going to pull for your tank. Do your job. Pound off me. Okay, so I'm low on health. If I click on myself, what happens? Nothing. He's trying to cast Shadow Word Pain on myself. So, yeah, it doesn't... It's not intended to work this way. But I could manually do my heals. And then if no one's taking damage, I could just spam my one rotation. So, for example, Moon, I mean, you're a super high-end crack dynamite player. But let's say there's a Resto Shaman. So they're like, hey, man, I really like healing. But I also don't really like to focus on a perfect rotation. What a Resto Shaman could do is be healing, but then when there's no damage going out, you just start spamming the rotation to do, hey, I got a few seconds of just downtime. Let me do some damage. I'll just spam the rotation and then go back to healing. Again, it would not be as optimal as manually doing all of it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the button is true to what it says. The button literally says only does damage. And it is true to its name. True to its name. Now what I want to try, and I am going to turn on, what you call it, damage meters. I'm going to manually do my Druid rotation, which I actually know. This will now be a test of how much damage this one button rotation actually does. I'm now logging on my Balanced Druid, which I actually do know how to play manually. And we're going to compare the damage of me doing it manually versus the damage of me doing it automatically with the button. So this may end up being a very humbling moment for me. Could be a very humbling moment for me. Could indeed. Oh, but the question is, can I play it as well as I do without my weak aura? And that's a whole other conversation. And where is the cooldown manager? Options, advanced, cooldown manager. Well, the cooldown manager might be good enough for me to know. Yeah, it might be good enough. Because I just gotta track my charges. And let me make sure I'm in single target. Oh, let me actually get my... Oh, I am in single target. Yep, because I have to invoke the spirits. Okay, so I'm in my actual talent build. I'm 650 eye level, but let's turn on my damage meter. Where's details? These will be up here. Okay. Bars upload. Let's do it. Let's do it. Dun dun. Where is details? Oh, does it need to be uploaded? I mean, updated. How do you add a game here again? No, not run. Ah, crap. I just hit open retail. I might actually break what I'm doing. Is it scan computer for games? Yeah. Close retail. Come on, show the PTR. Dun, dun, dun. Scan completed. There we go. Retail PTR. All I need is details. Yeah, all I care about is details. Oh, I wouldn't mind Blizz move. Blizz move is helpful. And I'll update the rest of the background. Okay, add-ons, details, Blizz move I actually like as well. That should be good now. It looks like that still didn't work. Unless, do I have to like open it / details? Nope, that didn't work. Interesting. Maybe load out of date. Maybe that's it. It's weird because they're popping up. Ah, here we go. Why is my game gray now? Details show. Hold on. Add-on. Why is the detail showing up? Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Let me actually go look at the add-ons folder. So PTR, interface, add-ons. Yeah, details is in here. Oh, you're right. The minimap button. I do actually have that. And then reopen all. Yeah, maybe I'll just do close all. Oh, create new window. No, that's not working either. Okay. Max window amount has been reached. You can modify this limit on options panel. That's weird. And I only have it open on this screen. Yeah, I got some phantom windows, dude. That is very strange. You know what I'll do? I may actually just try and delete it from here. Delete the add-on. Log out, download it again. Details. Damage meter, log back in. Yeah, max windows reached. Bro's got none open. We are clearly encountering some sort of bug. But hopefully this will work. Dun, 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 dun. And then this details on. No, I don't need bigwigs. I don't even know how that got turned on. Yeah, so this is on. And load out of date add-ons is also on. But now I don't even have the mini map. Yeah, I'm not sure. You can use add-ons in the PTR. It clearly is a little more finicky, but you can. Okay. Okay, it says right here, rebooting the game may fix the problem. So let's go try it out. Retail PTR 2. Retail, what even are these things? I'm just uploading details on every version of this game. Let's try it again. Come on, work for me. I want to actually do a damage test. Ideally, it should be a 30% damage reduction. At least that's what I think they're trying to go for right now. But we shall find out. Back in the druid. Ox, it may be under my rep button, but even if it was, it clearly wasn't working. No, Mag, they changed it to 30. Now it's a 0.3 second global cooldown reduction. I think they changed it. No, it's still failing to load, dude. Slash details, reinstall. Click to continue with the reinstall. Let's see if that works. Oh. Skip. Oh, yeah, it's true. I could try recount, dude. We go to retail PTR. I'm about to literally just download recount, dude. Big brain. And then slash reload, bro. Can we go a little old school? Huh? Ah, there we go. There we go. All right, friends, the true test of the one button rotation. Balanced Druid is actually a class that I do know how to play. I understand my rotation. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test a class that you do know how to play manually versus then the damage of that versus the damage of just literally spamming the one button rotation. Now, I am going to use this to its full extent manually, meaning that I am going to be using my trinket. I am going to be using my cooldowns. We're going to test the true damage difference between a manual player and an automatic one button player. Let's go and check this out, because if the discrepancy is too high, that'll be bad. But if it's not enough, that'll also be bad. Let's go and open it up. I'm going to do my normal opener and let's test this bad boy, shall we? Put that bad boy down. Now I don't have my weak aura, so I don't know if I can perform all this as good as I could, because like even the weak aura has the little bar to tell you how everything's working. Yeah, so my damage may not be as good manually because I don't have the weak aura that gives me all the advantages to see certain things, but it should still be pretty decent. I can tell when that's back up. Okay, so I hit about, what was that, 1.4 mil single target. About 1.4 mil single target. Can I hit 1.4 mil single target with the one button rotation? That is what we want to find out. And again, I don't know if it's going to use cooldowns. It's not going to use my trinket. Like ideally should be around a 30-ish% cooldown reduction. Now, I'm about to say something you may want me to test again, which could be fair. It's just muscle memory. I did also use my combat potion there. I probably would have hit about 1.6 if I had my weak aura, because it perfectly, I can just tell everything perfectly, especially with our astral power. It shows you the line of like when you pass this line, you have enough for a star surge. It shows you the timing of like the ending of your eclipses. So probably would have been a little bit higher, maybe about 1.6, but 1.4 is good enough for a test. Let me wait for any of my cooldowns to come off just to see if it's going to use them. I need to wait another 70 seconds and then we can start the test. Let's see what it's going to be, man. Dun, dun. Mag, recount looks like it's fresh from Windows 7. You're not wrong, dude. You are not wrong, bro. Hi, Mug. What's up, baby? How you doing, my friend? Mug coming on over to Twitch from the good old TikTokers, man. I appreciate you. Legend. Whoa! Yo, Sheep. Welcome, my friend. Appreciate that follow on TikTok. We are testing the one button rotation and comparing the damage of playing the game manually versus playing the game with the one button rotation. I'm just waiting a few more seconds for this cooldown to come off And then when I do that, when it's off, we're going to test all the things. Now, do I have full astral power here? Okay, well, I need to dump that astral power because you don't start with a ton of astral power. Okay, cool. Now let me wait for Starfall to fall off and everything. Everything to go away. Oh, and I didn't even have Mark of the Wild on, but to keep the test consistent, we'll have both. Okay. Everything is ready. Again, the goal is to see how does my 1.4 mil compare to the rotation. If this rotation does more damage to me, then I just need to get better. But we're going to see how it compares in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's dive on it. Did the game just freeze? What? The timing of that, dude. The timing. All right. Let's pump. Wow. Bad time. Bad time for all that lag. I'm just spamming this one button. Already at 800K. We're doing 800K damage right now. Now, I do notice it did not use my cooldown here. It did convoke the spirits. Oh, and with Convoke the Spirits, it is a channeled ability. But by me spamming the button, it actually interrupted the channel and started casting the next one, which is not something you want to do. You want to let that channel finish on the way. So, okay. I did around 1.4. We are we going to creep up to a mil? I don't think we're going to hit a mil. Let me see. Dude, we actually might creep up to a mil here. We actually might. And I'm curious. My Force of Nature is up in 5 seconds. Let's see how quickly to use it on this cooldown manager. See how quickly it knows to use it. Dude, it used it like instantly. That's impressive. But it is not using any of my cooldowns. And Convoke the Spirits is up in 25 seconds. I do want to test that again. Oh, I just realized it shows your eclipses over here. I'm just so used to the weak aura. The GCD is a little slower. It doesn't feel too bad, though. It doesn't feel too bad. Especially as a caster. Your cast is normally longer than the GCD anyway. So Convoke is up right now. Let's see if it does Convoke, and I interrupted it. Okay. So you got to be a little mindful. If you have some channeling abilities, you don't want to interrupt your channels, because that's a pretty big DPS loss. Well, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, and if you guys look over here, the green highlight is it shows what your next ability is. But dude, I'm doing 1 million damage. So it's about 40%. Well, that's not accurate. 400K would not. Someone do that math. If I did 1.4 manually, what is the percentage drop manually? It's around-ish 40%, right? Is it just a straight 40? I don't think it's a straight 40 because, like, 40%, 400K is 40% of 1 mil, right? But it's not 40% of 1.4 mil. So now let me wait a second. Let me just wait a second here. If I can sprinkle in my own cooldowns manually and my trinket and not screw up my Convoke, let's see what it would do. Yo, iMug, welcome to the Penguin Palace. iMug, I can tell you sick of those ads, brother. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. Now that you are subscribed to the channel, I gotta introduce you to Esteban. Esteban is our head penguin butler, okay? And everyone that subs to the channel gets to stay in what's called the Penguin Palace. He's gonna grab your bags and he's gonna bring you up to your room. Come on now. Come on now, come on now, come on now. Anything you need, the Penguin Palace has got you covered. And all you got to do, brother, is just ring that butler bell. I appreciate you, my friend. S tier human being. Let's go, man. Let's go. So Stiffy says, did you hear the new rule they're using in the NBA this season? 3 class most played on each team is banned for said team on Sunday. Wait, so they're not letting people play the most played classes? Interesting. Mag, 40% of 1 mil is 400k. That is correct. So you did 400% more DPS. That makes sense. But when you do it the other way around. Huh. That's too much math for me, dude. Too much math. All right. Everything is off cooldown. Everything is good. I am going to manually insert my cooldowns. And I'm gonna do my proper opener and everything. I'm gonna do 2 wraths and spam this twice. Oh, dude. Okay, here we go. I hit my cooldowns. Oh, I interrupted my convoke though. So, but that's my bad. Because again, I'm just spamming the 1 button. But let's see how it compares to my, with cooldowns and everything, how it compares to my 1.4. So now that Eclipse is over, I'm doing another cooldown there. Still doing around a mil. I feel like my cooldowns barely made a difference. Yeah, I think it's decision making is just not as, it's just not as good as a real player. This is one question that someone brought up yesterday, and then Sumo Guy, I'm going to get to your AoE rotation as well. They asked, who determines the rotations automatically? Is it actually Blizzard? Because the truth is, the best WoW players in the world learn how to play classes better than the actual designers of the game. So if you put the creator of, like, and the developer of Balanced Druid against the best Balanced Druid in the world, the best Balanced Druid in the world will do more damage because he actually understands how the class plays better than the guy who made it. So it depends on how they've set it up, right? So we could be running into, because I mean, I did everything. The only thing that screwed up there was Convoke. We can try this one more time, but I just may understand the rotation better than whatever automated system they put in here. But we'll give it a try. The only thing we gotta wait for now is the combat potion. But I have to wait 2.5 minutes if we want a real test of the 2 of them. The most true test would be if I had my weak aura. If I had my weak aura where I could really see, and you know what, dude, maybe I can turn it on. Because the weak aura just gives me so much information that the cooldown manager does not. /WA. I might have to just import. While we have to wait 2 minutes anyway, let me go grab my profile from actual retail. What's up, Luna Lumos? Luna, we're testing the 1 button rotation and it is sick. It is actually sick. This is legit. Amelius, it looks like it's default AoE, there, since it's star all instead of surging, they might also account for some DPF difference. That could be true. I'm not even looking at what button it's pressing, to be honest. I'm just literally spamming. Yeah, let me see if I can do my weak aura, and maybe able to pump out maybe an extra 100k than what you guys just saw me do. Dun dun dun. Oh, Luna, you're good. You're good. Send it whenever you get a chance. I'd love to see your creative artwork and all your crafts and cool stuff. William Bailey, this seems like no more skill WoW. Beautiful part is, if you want to play the game at a super high level, you still can. Right? So if I want to be a super high-end Mythic Raider, if I want to be doing like 12s, 13s, 14s Mythic Plus, and some people want to do lower keys and normal raids with this one button, just doesn't affect me at all. You know what I mean? Just literally doesn't affect my life in any way, shape, or form. And so that is what I think is beautiful about it. Just literally has no effect on me. I still get to do my thing, and other people get to do their thing, and I love it, dude. I think it's fantastic. Let me go to my weak auras. I'm gonna copy the code. So Druid, Luxtos, and then right click, copy. Oh no, it's export, that's what it is. And then copy. There we go. Okay, got that. Back in the PTR. So we'll do 2 more tests. First test we'll do is not skipping the Convoke. And then I'll go back and actually use my weak aura and see like the actual maximum difference. Moon, what were your 2 different DPS numbers you got from the one button versus straight U? As of right now, it was 1.4 versus 1 mil. I think I could pump out a little more than 1.4 if I actually had my weak aura, which I'm going to put in now. But we're going to test out the difference of Convoke. So basically the problem I'm finding with it right now, Moon, is Convoke of Spirits is a channeled ability that I want to press and then just let it finish. But when I'm spamming the one button, it's interrupting the channel and just doing the next cast. So Combat Potion is off cooldown. Let me go to edit mode, turn off cooldown manager. That doesn't actually fully turn off. Must be a PTR thing. I'm gonna go to options, advanced, and fully turn off. Okay, cool. Go to weak aura, import. Put that bad boy in. Oh, that's true. I could go to like a true single target. Will this boss hit me back if I'm at a range? I have no idea. Do the one on the right, this one right here. I've never really used these very well. Just want to make sure, is this the one? Photoshop, graph to the new PC. That's super cool. Okay, correct. This is the one. All right. I am going to do this with the one button rotation. This is damage testing of the Balanced Druid on the one button rotation where I am manually inputting cooldowns and not interrupting my Convoke of Spirits. Then we're going to test me doing the manual rotation to see the damage difference. So I'm going to do my opener. The one thing I already know is this doesn't do the opener properly, but we're going to do it anyway. So let's go ahead. Precast 2 Wraths. Then we start. Oh my goodness, the lag. The lag. Dude, the lag. Okay, then we're going to pop cooldowns. And we're going to go for it. There's Convoke Spirits. That ends. Now we just straight spam. Now we just straight spam. I did forget to put Mark of the Wild on, so we'll leave it off for both tests to make sure that it's accurate. And we're just spamming. Okay? I'm going to manually do one more cooldown because now it's time. And let's see how much Convoke the Spirits really changed. I mean, maybe 70, 80, 70, 80K. And that was with everything. Trinket, cooldowns, combat potion. So Convoke the Spirits did a small difference. Did a small difference. So not very much. While we're waiting for my combat potion to come off cooldown to see how much better I can beat it, let's go test AoE. Let's see how this bad boy does. And let's see if it starts doing different buttons as well. Come on, start. It's still wrathing. It's wrathing rather than starfiring. Okay, now it's starfiring. Oh, it was wrathing to put me in the proper eclipse. Oh, shoot, dude. It can tell when my eclipse is over. So when this highlight goes away, that means my eclipse is over. So it's starfiring. And then it should start wrathing now. Yep, there's another wrath right there. Back to start. Okay, it did one extra. It's pretty close, though. Again, this might still need to be tweaked. And again, it's not supposed to be better than a real person, like, manually doing everything. But it's pretty close, dude. It's pretty stinking close, man. Sheesh, dude. So this guy's got to 1.2 million damage. We're doing 1.2 million damage AoE. I actually, without using my combat potion. Oh, well, I'm also in single target spec. I forgot. Yeah, I'm in a raid. I'm in a raid spec. Let me see what the damage would be. Well, it won't let me because I have a cooldown. Yeah, it's not gonna let me with a cooldown. I don't think, right? I like Keeper of the Grove better. Yeah, okay. And how much time's on the combat potion? A minute 44. So I'll wait on that, and then we'll do the single target. I'll do it manually, and let me spend some. Okay. I'll spend some astral power to make sure it is legit. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to spam with an evoker. Evoker's another class I know how to play well. You wouldn't be able to spam this too much channeling, and I guarantee you it would not know the perfect like cutoff points. Like most of the time in Evoker, you don't want to let your disintegrate fully channel. There's like a perfect point to cut it off. Well, I don't know about this season. Maybe that's changed. I haven't played it since End of Dragonflight. But I'm sure it would not know how to do stuff like that. I'm sure it would not know how to do that. Because that would be insane. That would be insane if it did. All right, let me actually get my buttons back. My Moonfire. Let's go, man. We've got 42 seconds left on my combat potion. Dude, we could test it. I'm down for that, dude. I love Evoker. But I won't say like I know how to play Evoker well today. I used to pump a little bit, but that was back in Dragonflight. So I may be super washed. And the class has probably changed a little bit. I don't even know anything about hero talents. Okay. 15 seconds. 15 seconds! Remember, it was 1 mil 80,000. We finished up with the auto rotation while manually adding cooldowns. 1,080,000 damage. How much can I beat it by doing literally everything manually? Let's do our opener and let's find out. 2 wraths. Do our dots. Trinket combat potion. Literally everything. And again, I don't have Mark of the Wild on because I didn't have it on the other test either. So I want to make sure the 2 tests are actually comparable. Oh, I actually screwed up my opener, but we should be good. I'm going to redo my dots real quick. Go back to my Eclipse. So we're doing 1.2. Oh shoot, bro. How am I doing worse than I did before? What did I screw up here? Oh, I didn't do Convoke Spirit. I actually messed up my opener really bad there. Tank main, by the way. So I think our first test is probably the best one. I think it's about a 30% DPS loss. I think it's about 1.4 to about 1 millish. Bro, I'm gonna need to swap to the one button, dude. Literally better with the one button, bro. Better with the one button, bro. I think it's about 30-ish percentage, 30, 35, somewhere in there difference, which, I mean, that's what they're aiming for. Because the global cooldown was reduced by 0.3 seconds. So that's what they're aiming for. And granted, let me say this. There are people that can play Balance Druid way better than I can. So even if you gave them the exact same gear I have, if they played my account, they could probably pump out 2 million damage because they're just better at the game than me. But for someone that is pretty good at Balance Druid, not amazing, but not, you know, super noobish, like pretty good, I think a 30% deficit is actually pretty solid, man. Now I want to do it one more time. Because now I'm like, dude, I actually threw my Convoke. Are my cooldowns back up, though? This would need 1 minute, and this would need 2 minutes. While we're waiting on that, because I think I could change talents here, right? Yes, I can. I'm going to try no cooldowns for AoE. I can't change talents while what? Oh, Celestial Alignment's still on cooldown. That's obnoxious. And that needs 27 seconds. Yeah, I think they might have upped it to 0.3 seconds just because it might not have, like, there might not have been a big enough discrepancy, right? If they want to make sure it's fair, there needs to be at least big enough of a gap between people doing manually and people doing it automatically. Needs to be somewhat of a discrepancy. Otherwise, I think it's not fair. Okay, now we're good. We can change. While I wait for my comment potion to come back up, I do want to do a little AoE testing. But this is going to be manual versus automatic, but no cooldowns of any kind. No cooldowns of any kind. No trinkets, no potions, no nothing. And let's go ahead, make sure my dots are up. Put those up, and then, oh, first of all, I'm not in boon conform. That actual crap, dude. And then we start spamming. Let's go. Get one of those, and again, no Mark of the Wild because I forgot to put it on. Okay, my Eclipse about to end. Get back in the right form. Let me see, let me see, let me see. And then I'm going to stop right there. So about 1.3. But 1.3 manually, I probably could have used this one more time, but all good. Now, let me just wait for my dots to all fall off and everything. Dude, this might actually beat me, bro. On AoE, I think it might actually beat me, dude. And I wonder how it's going to do with dotting things. Like, will it actually dot everything? Probably not. Because it doesn't change its target. Let's see. Everything's off cooldown. Yeah, and I started the first two buttons in that, not in boom conform. Let's try it out. Let's try it out, shall we? Bro, this might beat my AoE, dude. This might actually beat me. Bro, it's gonna beat me, dude. This is gonna beat me. Oh my goodness, it beat me, dude. We're gonna have to redo that again. We're gonna have to redo that again, dude. Dude, it's beating me only by like 30 to 40k DPS. No, more like, oh, it's going up. The longer I go, the more it's going up. Bro, oh, and this got a mushroom proc too. That's not fair either. Bro, ChatGPT does more damage than me, dude. We're gonna try this again though. Wait for this to come up. So it did 1.4. But it did get a mushroom proc. We'll have to see if I can get lucky and get one of those. And dude, Moonfire went on everything, bro. How did you get it on everything? Without changing targets? Because it normally always misses at least one if they're too spread. Let me try this again. So 1.4 is the number to beat AoE. Opener, 2 rats. Yeah, see how it's missing some? Let's see. So I'm already doing 1.4. Oh yeah, the first one I started my rotation literally not in boomkin form. But dude, I'm only doing like 50k more damage than it. Which is not a lot, bro. But again, I'm not using any cooldowns or anything. So this is just sheer button pressing. So I'm doing like 100k more damage than it. Which is not a lot. Get back in my proper eclipse. I gotta get better, dude. I'm only beating it by 100k. Unacceptable, dude. Well, almost 200, but still not even a huge amount. Okay, so I beat it by 200k. But it's not a massive amount. But again, that was no cooldowns. If I'd used cooldowns, probably could have pumped up a little bit more. But now let's actually go back and do the single target. Dun, 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 dun. And let's see if we can get out. Do I have Mark of the Wild on? I gotta take it off because I didn't have it in the last test. Okay, now let's get a full single target rotation manually. See what damage we'll do. Well, let me spend a little astral power just to get it, and then let me reset. There we go. Right. Let's do it. Dump on my astral power, then convoke the spirits. Dump it again. Okay. My opener has been done correctly this time. All right, now I'm doing. Oh, I wasn't resetting in between my tests. How bad does that affect the numbers? I actually don't know how bad that affects the numbers. We may need to test this again. So I peaked at 2.3 mil there when I actually reset it because it wasn't taking the average. No, this doesn't reset automatic when you get into combat. Does not. Well, this is recount. You're probably talking about details. Details does, not recount. Recount's old school. I'm only using it because details won't work for me for some reason on the PTR. So I think the truest test of this is a full manual player using cooldowns, combat potion, everything, versus just a one button presser. That I think is the truest test. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Full manual on Boomkin, using all potions, trinkets, cooldowns, everything. I peaked at 2.4 my opener. Let me see what the difference will be for someone that is literally just gonna be spamming just the one button rotation. And let's check that out. What is it now? Again, this is no cooldowns, no potions, because that's all manual. This is just the one button. Let's see what the damage is. Again, 2.3 is the number to beat on the opener. Let's see what this will do. And I have no Mark of the Wild because I wanted it to be just the sheer spamming of the one button. And I did interrupt the Convoke there because, again, I'm just spamming the one button. So this is just a true 100K. So it seems to be quite the discrepancy, which I think there should be. But this is, it just makes the game easy to start, fun to play. And I think this can be a great way for people to learn. I think it's fantastic. What's up, man? Hey, Amanda. Hi. Hi. How are you, boo? Your hands are freezing. Yeah. How's your head? Joey, do you have a headache today? Oh, you slept wrong and screwed up your neck? Don't do that. Don't do that. She has my wife gets two types of headaches. One is her weather-induced really bad migraines, and then she gets headaches when her neck is all screwed up. So those are different. But those, moving to Oregon is not gonna fix those. For sure, man. For sure, bro. The one button rotation, I think, is actually legit. I played Shadow Priest early, which I have no idea how to play. That was a ton of fun. Now we're gonna do a full test AoE. Full manual AoE, cooldowns, everything. Versus just pressing the one button. Just pressing the one button. My combat potion is here. It's got 30 seconds left. Now, do a reset with manual CDs, since some people will know how to use them. I could do that too, actually. If you want to manually use your own cooldowns, let's see what that would be like. Right, single target. Okay. Go back to the one button. And my combat potion is already ready. Let's do a little opener. Boom. And then to the one button. And I'm waiting for, okay, there's Convoke. Now, I don't know if it's doing the opener correctly. I'm just spamming one button. I'm going to do my next cooldown now. And so we're at 900K. Around a mil, 1.1. So I peaked at 2.3. So that's a massive difference. Massive difference. But again, like, this is not supposed to be better than a human who understands how to play the class. It's just meant to be a fun, simple way for people to play WoW. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, that's, if you want to include cooldowns, and right now for me, it's 2.3 versus 1 point. We're about 1 point, not even 1.1. A little over a million. 1,020,000 ish. But I think it's fantastic, bro. I think it's really, really good. Let me do I'm gonna do Mark of the Wild now. Oh, but I gotta wait for dude, I really wish you could change talents without having to wait for cooldowns. I really wish. Anyone know why they do that? What's the benefit? I don't understand. I don't understand, man. Yo, what's up, man? KDM Ghost, welcome on TikTok, friends. Hope you all are doing well. Can I change it? No, I have to wait. Dang. So you can't pop out of a Mythic Plus to switch specs real quick. Oh, okay, that does make sense. Because then people would find some insane strats with that. That does actually make sense. Moon coming in with the big brain plays. Faux reels. Yeah, but yeah, maybe in like in a dummy area, you can type a command that only works in a certain vicinity. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Can I change it? No, not yet. It's gonna make me wait. Yep, can't do that. Okay. So it's quite the difference. But I'm cool with that, because again, I don't want a bot to play better than me. That's the goal, right? I want to be significantly better than an automatic button. Which is, I like that. But I love having it. Like when I logged on a Shadow Priest, I have no idea how to play, and I got to play it and have fun. I was like, dude, this is sick. I get to play it on a, like if you're trying to learn a new tank, it works on tanks, but you have to, what you call it, manually press your defensives. I think it's great. Overall, my thoughts on the actual feel and play of the one button rotation is it feels fun. Is it perfect? No, one, because it's still in testing, so Blizzard might actually make some changes. Again, it does interrupt your own channels. If you're playing a tank, it doesn't do your defensives for you. So it's not an end-all be-all. That's not its intention. It's supposed to be a learning tool or someone that's going to just like chill back and just have some fun, focus on mechanics, but not worry about all these millions of buttons. I think it's a great addition. But how does it feel? It feels good. The global cooldown deficit of 0.3 seconds doesn't feel so great that it feels slow paced and not fun. I think it actually feels good. I actually think it's in a really good place. It's going to be fun for me to play new classes that I don't know without having to put in hours of study and learning WoW and all this kind of stuff. Like I think it's great. I think it's going to help people with disabilities, new players, people after a long day of work who don't want to stress their brain out even more. Like they just want to play the game, have fun, make jokes on Discord with their friends, all without taking away from the people that have actually taken the time to learn and master their classes, because they're just always going to perform better. No global cooldown reduction, and they're probably playing the class more optimally than this bot is going to anyway, because the best players in the world know how to play better than the actual developers of the class and spec. So honestly, I think it's a win. It feels good. It feels fun. I'm pressing it right now. It feels good. Blizzard, I think you have absolutely cooked with this one, and I approve. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. Mag, if you've got a second, do you mind highlighting that for me, bro? So I can send it to Trend. I'll chop it up in a YouTube video. If you're not free, then I might try and get it done real quick right before I head out to the tournament. Very curious how a character like Pharaoh Druid would do. Bro, tell you what, I don't know how to play Pharaoh Druid, but I don't need to know how to play Pharaoh Druid. Because I can just press one button, dude. Let's go check it out, shall we? Mag, you're a beast. Thank you so much, man. You are absolutely a Chadmeister 9000. Well, I'm going to have to wait for my talents, though, aren't I? No, nice. Okay, cool. Now, do I even have... Yeah. Let's just do starter build. You have to apply bleeds to multiple enemies, so it would affect rotation, I believe. Oh, that's true. That's probably true. And I don't know any of this. I'm just literally going to put random stuff in. But will it feel fun? Let's find out. All I'm doing is just spamming the one button. Oh, I didn't I didn't put the button on yet. Sorry, I didn't put the button yet. I was like, this feels odd. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't even know how this works, but it is applying bleeds to my main target, but it's not applying bleeds to, well, this one has it. Let's go. Yo, what's up, Dashberry? Kissy Shell in the chat. You freaking fracking fantastic human freaking being. Hope today brings you joy and laughter and peacefulness. Kissy, I'm very excited. I get to commentate at a Fortnite and Super Smash Bros. Tournament in person and on stream. 8 p.m. Eastern, live on this channel, Satellite Gaming channel, and Sweet Olajuwon's channel. And so I am pumped. I am pumped. And this is melee, so I can like move around or just spam the button, dude. Let's go, bro. Maybe I change targets a little bit. And if you manually change targets, does it pick up on the fact that it needs to bleed? It does, bro. So you can still manually change targets, and it applies the bleeds. Whoa, bro. That bleed is expiring, so I'm gonna, well, it's not expired, so I won't reapply it. This one needs it. Will it detect that it needs to bleed? It did. It's not instant, but it detected it. There's one. He needs it. He needs it. Got it. Do you need it? Bro. So dot management is still manual for sure. Bleed falls off. Reapplied it. Dude. So you just have to manually switch targets. That's pretty fun, bro. That's pretty fun, dude. Let's go. Kissy, the concept is how I've been playing BM Hunter for a year. Kissy, do you think you'll go back to this? I know you're not mythic rating right now. So, and just do it at like an AOTC level. Honestly, I think this one button rotation will be able to get AOTC. I think so. Done. Mag, it's probably like 15-ish minutes in. You'll see me do like a YouTube intro. Like you'll be, first of all, it starts off like this screen. So you can look for this and then look for me like doing the intro. WoW just added a 1-button rotation. It'll sound something just like that. I forget what I actually said. Let's go. Kissy caber toss. Yep, unless it's raining. If it's raining, it's a safety issue to include the caber. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm skipping around and missing a comment. Hoagies, I tried to play it at the start of the War Within. I'm a long-time Pharaoh player in Classic. I couldn't bring myself to study enough for it. Bro, and now you can just have fun without doing all the crazy study, bro. Dude, I may even try Pharaoh, dude. I may even try it, dude. Just have some fun. Just spamming the buttons, dude. It's pretty legit, bro. I may legit do it. This is crazy cool, man. This is crazy cool. I want to log on to another class that I literally just don't know how to play. That is wild. Yeah, I took it into a dungeon. I tanked with it. It works for tanks. It does actually do for a paladin. It does your mitigation. But you know what? I'm going to pivot here. I am going to test a warrior. Where's Big Susie? Because I have a feeling. Thank you, Mac. Found it. You went full YouTube mode. Yeah, you can always tell when I switch. Yeah. I'm going to try warrior tank here. And here's why. Because on the paladin, it was actually effective on a paladin tank. Because a paladin tank, their mitigation and uptime is consecration and shield of righteous. Okay. Now, those are both damage dealing abilities. Consecration, damage dealing ability. Shield the Righteous, damage dealing ability. However, that's not true across all classes. So for Protection Warrior, I'm assuming it'll do shield block, but I'm assuming it won't do Ignore Pain, because Ignore Pain is not a damage dealing ability. So that's what we're going to test right now, and I'm assuming that is going to be the case. So let me actually just turn on my cooldown manager. I think the cooldown manager is pretty cool, dude. Oh, you're right. Shield block. Oh, you're right. Yeah, shield block is not a damage dealing ability. You're right. Shield slam is, but that does no mitigation. Well, let's see if we've got, I do have some talents, and let's see how this works, man. Give me the 1-button rotation. I'm assuming this will not be applicable for Protection Warrior. Let's find out. Spamming the buttons. There's Demolish. I am not using Ignore Pain, and I'm not using Shield Block. So if you can manually do those, like that was me manually, I did that myself. Here's Ignore Pain. Shield Block's coming up. The problem is, if you're spamming and trying to manually do those buttons, you might be fighting with yourself. Because you might go to try and use something, and it uses it on something else. Yeah, not very applicable. Hey, Boo Boo Bear. Yo, is that coffee?
Are you ready for today?
I will be before it actually happens. Love you, Boo. My wife is hilarious, dude. Okay, so you cannot 1-button spam Protection Warrior. You can 1-button spam Protection Paladin. Again, not as efficiently as a human would do it, but you absolutely can. Let's try Fury. I'm sure Fury's gonna work fine. Now, I think one of the things that people love about Fury Warrior is how fast-paced it is. So I think the reduction of the global cooldown is probably going to feel really different. They put two-handed swords on. Do I even have two-handed swords? That is the question. I do. Okay. Not good ones. Again, we're not testing damage right now. We're just testing basically fun factor. Those talents are going to be literally from Dragonflight, so let me just do starter build. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm just gonna whatever, dude. Throw. Wait, why won't that work? Okay, guess I'm doing this one instead. Click. Sure. Why not? Activate. Oh, dude, wielding two-handers really is just Giga Chad status, dude. It really is, bro. Okay, so it actually it wants to start with the charge, dude. Oh. That's just my 1-button. It's not the 1-button rotation. Yeah, no, I do. I like starting with charge, not the actual thing. Oh, that's so good, dude. That is 10 out of 10. All right, now let's try it. Let's try it. Wait for that to fall off. And, oh, it wants to start with a heroic throw. Okay. You won't charge for me, dude? It's toxic, bro. I can't believe it wouldn't charge. Bro. As someone that just thinks it's cool to play Fury Warrior, but doesn't want to put the time to learn it, but I want to jump in and just do some 2s and 3s. Maybe jump into a normal. Oh, you're right, coach. It won't do charge because charge is not damage. It doesn't do any damage? I know it does a little bit of a root thing, or it used to back in the day. No, it does. It does 7,000 damage. So let's see if I get far away, if it'll make me... No, it seems to be choosing heroic throw over charge. And it pretty much won't charge no matter what I do. That's interesting. But again, this is still like... This is still in testing, right? So Blizzard might fix that. But charge does indeed do damage. So it is a damage dealing ability. So they might just need to fix that. But dude, because I think that... Yeah, bro. I think this is fun, man. I want to play Fury Warrior. Let's go, man. Hover over the spell book. Does it show what it wants to do next? No, I think it only shows on here. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be that I don't have charge on my bars. Maybe that's it. But I think it actually uses abilities even if they're not on your bars. Let's see. I got far enough. No, still nothing. That was me manually charging in. But again, if you just learn to use your mobility and your stuns manually, this button's gonna be fun. Again, are you gonna be a world first raider? No. Are you gonna be doing the highest keys in the world? No. But can you play casually with your friends and just hang out and have a good time and do some keys? I think with enough gear, honestly, I think you could still do some decently solid content. Like, I'd be really curious to get a group together when this is out, okay? And do it. Can we complete a 10? With me as a prot paladin, manually putting my defensives, all of the DPS, using their one button rotation, and then obviously the healer just has to heal, right? I would like to see if we can time a 10. I think I'm gonna try and test that. Get some people who really understand the dungeons, know the mechanics, that kind of stuff. Can we time a 10? You know, in 660 plus gear. You're gonna need some gear to make up for the lack of the damage you're doing, obviously. But if you have high-end gear that pretty much everyone can get with enough time, can't get myth track, but can we complete a 10? I think it's legit. That's actually legit, man. Yeah, so there's two different features. Ox. Let me show you the difference here. They created two different features. There is assisted highlight, and then there is the one button rotation. They are two different things. So if I take off the one button rotation completely, let me get my charge button back here. Okay. And I have all my buttons on my bars, I believe. I do. The assisted highlight button is basically the add-on Hakili, but in-game. Tells me what my next recommended button I should press is, but I still have to press it, and there's no global cooldown penalty. Okay, so I'm gonna charge in. Looks like I can hit any of these buttons. Oh, no. So F is my next button. F again. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's still the one button rotation. Let me get that off my bars. I don't know what all these green buttons are. Why is everything green? Okay, so there's the next recommended. Something's not working properly. Oh, I don't have all my buttons on my bars. I thought I just checked this. Okay, so I could do heroic leap. Sorry, heroic charge. It's not even called that. Charge or heroic throw. I'm going to charge in. Tells me to hit 3. This was working on Ellie Shaman. Maybe it's not working on Fury Warrior. Again, this is PTR. It could very much just be broken. But when I log on to the... Let me log on to the Ellie Shaman real quick. Actually, Ellie Shaman might not even be set up with my keybinds. Let me log on to my Druid. And see how that works. I do agree. I think this assist thing is going to be easier for casters. Because when you are in the middle of your cast, you have a free second to look at your bar and see what it recommends that you do. For a melee class, especially a fast one like a Fury Warrior, it's going to be hard to keep up with. When it works properly, obviously. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Well, let's check it out. We switch back to Boomkin. We'll go single target. And again, we're looking for the buttons that are highlighted. So let me get rid of the 1 button rotation. I want to go full manual here. And once I start combat, you should see my buttons start to light up. Wait, is it on? It is on. It must just be broken right now. It was working yesterday, to be honest. I saw it working yesterday. Yeah, it must just be broken right now. But again, this just came out yesterday, so it might not be working. Or maybe some classes work and others don't. So I was using on the Ellie Shaman. So I'm going to go back on that, check it. The actual 1 button that you drag down. That's the 1 button rotation. You have to open up your spellbook and it's at the top right. Single button assistant. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'll see about the Shaman. Dude, I'm actually really pumped for this for Ellie Shaman because I think Shamans are so much fun, bro. I think they look so cool. I just haven't put the time in to study and learn. Now I just want to log in and just do some 3s, bro. Some 3s with the homies, dude. Take that out. Any abilities that are not on my bars. Well, first of all, let me set the right. Yeah, so now it's working. See the buttons lighting up? 4, 4, 5 or 6, depending on single target or AoE. 4 again. Now also to do 5, 4 again, 4. Like whichever one is lit up, that's the one you want to do. But now if I change my UI to my actual profile. No, okay. So it just was not working on those other classes then. But it works on Ellie Shaman. I don't know. Must just be a bug in the PTR. And I gotta say, guys, this cooldown manager is pretty good, man. Their attempt at giving us our own weak aura. This is pretty good. It's not as good as a normal weak aura. There's still some buffs and stuff. You know, seeing your like your power bar or mana bar. So it's still a downgrade. If you are someone that does not use a weak aura on the middle screen, this is going to be a really great addition. But if you've been using a weak aura for a while, this is currently still a downgrade. But again, it's the first iteration. So I'm hoping that they will add it and make it better. For real. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, really? If you hover over the button, it's supposed to show your entire rotation. Oh, I didn't know they were trying to do that. Let me see this. And then let me see what you just put in retail, Ox. Let me go check that out. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I see this. Okay, so Ox just put this in the Discord. That's what I'm talking about. They show this in the video. Oh. And maybe this isn't even the rotation, Ox. Maybe it just is showing you like the buttons that apply. So like so ambush is included in this. Crimson Tempest. So that you know what's in it and what's not in it. Maybe that's it. Oh, it says right there, right click for a list of spells. Good catch, Desert Dwarf. So if you right click, it shows you what abilities are in it and what abilities are not. And dude, it might actually be the right rotation. You know what? Now I want to log on to my Druid and see, is this the right rotation? And I want to see if I change specs, will it adjust the rotation? Not that Druid's rotations are very different from each other. But that's interesting, bro. Yeah, some of them are gray. I wonder if they weren't talented. But I don't know because I don't play Ellie Shaman. But now I'm going to go in the Druid where I do know. So let's take a look at this. Okay? Let's take a look at this. I right click on this and shows my abilities. Okay, it wants me to open up with Convoke the Spirits, which is completely wrong. Horribly wrong. Then it wants me to move. This cannot be the rotation. If it is, this is the most garbage rotation I've ever seen in my entire existence of life. Open with Convoke, then Force of Nature, then Moonfire. It doesn't even Sunfire until like ability 7. What? I'm not even in Moonkin form yet. Moonkin form is button number 4. This cannot be the rotation. This, it has to just be a list of buttons that apply. Yeah, I don't think it's the rotation because this is so bad that it can't be. But again, however, it still's in the PTR. So that might be their intention. They just haven't done it yet. Lyrica with the 41 months. Your face is beautiful and I appreciate you. Bro, thank you so much. How's life, friend? God bless you. Lyrica, if I remember correctly, are you moving to Washington? Are you coming to the PNW? Yeah, dude. Yeah, this would be a meme. Imagine not even opening up in Moonkin form, like I accidentally did earlier. Yeah, it's gotta just be a list of buttons. And then if I change talents, yeah, the gray ones would pop up as well. Legend. Yeah, and there's no way this could be the rotation, and here's why. Because it doesn't know if right now I'm about to engage in single target or AoE, which would change my rotation. So yeah, it's just gotta be a list. It's gotta be a list. Dude, that is so cool, man. That is so cool. So let me think this through. Is Paladin the only tank in the game that this button actually works for? It doesn't work for Prop Paladin. It would not work for Guardian Druid because Iron Fur does not do damage. DK? I don't think... Dude. Oh, Death Strike is a damaging dealing ability. But it wouldn't be able to do it at the perfect time. Raiders through the Dark Portal. Gherkin Steel, the legend himself, bro. I can't believe we're gonna be together in person at the event tonight, bro. How was the stream? Were you playing PoE 2, bro? To all you guys popping in, hey, my name is Pastor Susie, and seriously, it's awesome to meet you here in the stream. We lead a community called Unity Gaming on a mission to bring an end to toxicity and loneliness of gaming. I'm glad to stop by, friend. And if y'all play World of Warcraft, welcome. No, I mean, I don't think we can test DK. Let's go test it. I don't think it's gonna work though, because I don't think it's gonna heal you at the right moment. But let's test it. Let's actually test it. So Guardian Druid will not work. We'll test Demon. I will test Blood Decay. I don't think it's gonna work, but we'll test it. Demon Hunter is whatever their mitigation button is called. I forget. Is that a damage dealing ability? I actually don't know. Brewmaster. It's probably not going to stagger at the right. What? Brewmaster. I'd have to think that through, dude. And then what else am I missing? I'm missing a tank. I am indeed missing a tank. But which one? And then I need some talent points. Hero talents. I don't know which ones are good, but I'm just picking some. Apply it. No, I said Guardian Druid already. Yeah, Guardian Druid would not work. Iron Fur does not do damage. I know that. All right, so this guy actually does damage to me. Let's see if it works. So Prot Paladin does work. Prot Warrior does not work. Bear does not work. Blood Decay, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. Brewmaster are going to test. Them and Vengeance Demon Hunter. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, let me put in the one button. Let's try the... Oh, shoot. Well, I'm already losing health. Will it Death Strike for me? Death Strike does do damage. I would say it does not work. I would say it does not work. Maybe it wasn't a fair test. Let's give it another go. But I would say... I'm pretty sure, because the game would have to detect when you need a heal, and I don't think that's built into this. It's just brainless damage, just damage. Yo, I am Ghost. Welcome, my friend. I am Ghost. My name is Pastor Susie, and sincerely, hope you know you're loved and valued, friend. Welcome to Unity Gaming, a community on a mission to bring an end to toxicity and loneliness in World of Warcraft, in gaming, and if you're looking for a WoW community, whether you want to join our guild or just play with us. We got multiple raid teams. We got Mythic Plus Mondays where people can hang out, do some Mythic Plus together. We got transball competitions. We just had one like 3 days ago. It's a great positive community. And just looking to make some friends, bro. We want people to be mature, kind, respectful, and avoid gossip and drama. And I'm glad you're hanging out, friend. Do you play World of Warcraft as well? Yeah, I'm assuming this is not going to work, but we're going to test it. Let's try it out. Because, yeah, it doesn't care about damage being done to me, Desdorf, correct? Yeah, no, it does not work. Does not work. Not even a little. He should have been death striking since attack 1. Then let's test Brewmaster. And when I say Prot Paladin works, it doesn't Word of Glory. It does everything but Word of Glory. So you would just still have to manually Word of Glory. Ba-dum-bum. But dude, because of the way Brewmasters take damage via stagger, it may work. Yeah, it may actually work, dude. Now, you're still going to manually, across all tanks, you're going to manually do your defensives. But for the damage dealing rotation, I think this might actually work, bro. I'm trying to think of what buttons wouldn't work. Because, yeah, playing Brewmaster is just pretty much do your rotation and pop your defenses when they're needed. So, I think this is going to work, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty confident this Brewmaster is going to work. Again, not at a high level, not as efficiently as if you were pressing the buttons yourself. But for a learning tool or just kind of chilling, I think Brewmaster is going to work. And I got to check Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is the one tank that I barely know how to play. The rest of them I can play pretty proficiently. But Demon Hunter, because I just don't really enjoy it. So I haven't really put much time into it. Dun, 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 dun. Come on now. Why can't I fly here? Hello, game? Hello? Let me fly, game? What do you mean I haven't collected that mount? That is some blasphemy, bro. Well, first of all, gotta unwrap these. Oh, this is PTR. Forget that. What am I doing? Throwing. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let me see. Oh wait, gotta put the one button on. Forgot. You don't even open up with the throw thing from a distance. Yeah, so it's just doing my rotation. Let's go. Oh, okay, yeah. So you would still need to manually do your brews to take away, you know, some of the stagger and stuff. So, kinda works. Yeah, because you're right. You need those like almost rotationally. You have to track your stagger, and when it gets ideally, I think it's above like 60, you lower it. I haven't played Brewmaster in a while. So, as long as you can do your brews manually, but if we throw that into like the cooldown category, which it kind of is, then it would mostly work from the rotational standpoint. But Paladin, outside of Word of Glory, it like pretty much fully works. Let's check Vengeance Demon Hunter. Copy character, his name is Redeemed. Let's see, shall we? Bro, this is actually, I'm impressed, dude. Ox Pally has so much baked into its damage rotation and survive. Absolutely. Consecration, damage. Show the Righteousness, damage. The only thing is Word of Glory. You just need to manually press Word of Glory. So when I do my full test, when this comes out and we test doing a 10, the rules of play will be the only buttons I can press are defensives, health pot, Word of Glory. Now, obviously, the massive loss to doing one button on a Paladin is you lose all of its utility. Right, so I'm not laying on hands people, I'm not Word of Glorying people, I'm not sacrificing people, I'm not freedoming people, I'm not bopping people, I'm not anything to anybody. Which in my opinion is, oh yeah, and interrupts, things like that, stuns, utility. But like for me, I mean, that, if you're not doing those things I just mentioned, like you're not playing a Paladin. Like that is what makes a Paladin a Paladin. So that is a massive loss. But again, when you're starting out, just trying to chill, are those things super necessary? No. You want to do a 19 and you don't know how to bot people, re-roll, dude. But if you are chilling and doing some entry-level content, want to hang out, go for it, dude. Go for it. So this ability right here, Demon Spikes, this is the Demon Hunter's mitigation. This does damage. So let's see if it works, bro. Let's see if it works. Single target rotation. Let's see if it does my spikes. Ooh, it's not doing my spikes. Oh no, it doesn't do damage. It does not do damage. It increases your armor. Sorry, I read it quickly. I thought I said damage. So this just will not work. If it doesn't even do your basic mitigation, I would just put it in the does not work category. However, it does do your rotation. So you could just manually do demon spikes. Keep an eye on it. I got 3 seconds left. And then I press it again. I got 3 seconds left. Especially now with the new cooldown manager. Advanced options cooldown manager. Which it's going to pop up right here telling me that it's running out. So there's demon spikes. I'm spamming 1. I keep an eye on demon spikes. When it's going to hit 0, I do it again. It's pretty legit, dude. Now, it ran out before I have another charge. But as soon as my chart is up, boom, press it again. So with just a little bit of manual work, Demon Hub be good. A little bit of manual work, Brewmaster would be good. Death Knight, we need a lot of manual work. Guardian Druid, also just a little bit of manual work, just Iron Fur. This is basically Iron Fur, Demon Spikes. Paladin, a little bit of manual work. Word of Glory. Protection Warrior needs quite a bit of manual work. Quite a bit. You need to ignore pain. And the reason I say quite a bit of work for Prot Warrior is you need your ignore pain and your... It's not called shield wall. That's the major cooldown. Shield block. And it also uses the same resources as your other damaging abilities. So there's quite a bit of decision making that goes on when playing Prot Warrior, so that you don't use your resource on a damage dealing ability when you needed it for a mitigation. And so that would need quite a bit. So I think Warrior, it actually works for Warrior and DK. It works the least. It works the best on Paladin, because you just need Word of Glory. Well, yeah. And I would say it works best on Pally, because every Paladin should be using Word of Glory, hands down. But if your healer's healing you, can you get away with not using Word of Glory in lower end content? I think you could. I think you could. Coach and Dwarf bring up a great point. Let's say you want to be a manual player, but every now and then your wife walks in the room, husband walks in the room, your children walk in the room, and you have to look away for a second, but you want to keep doing damage, and you don't want to just keep spamming the same, maybe not strong button. You just switch to spamming the rotation assist as I'm looking away from the monitor. Then my kid walks away, I look back at the monitor, I go back manual. A lot of really great uses, dude. I think there's a lot of really cool uses. I think this is, and honestly, dude, I think that like this is probably gonna have like uses for I'm gonna say, guys, like 99% of the player base. Not 99% of the player base will only use this button, but it's going to be useful to 99% of players. Do I think some of the super high-end players will be like, I'm never putting this in my bars? Sure, but whatever. But this is sick, dude. I think it's a fantastic addition to the game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's gonna help so many people, but without really taking away from so many people. Do I think there could be some negatives of it? I do. I really hope people won't use this as a thing to flame each other about. Like, oh, you're a one button presser. Or will someone make an add-on that detects if people signing up to the Mythic Plus are using it? And if so, they don't invite them. That could happen. Is there a chance that people getting into your keys are using it and maybe you didn't want it, right? But the truth is, like, if I'm doing a 10, I normally only invite people. If I'm doing a pug, I normally only invite someone to my pug if they've done the key lower, right? And so if they've done the key lower than the one we're doing with the one button, there's a pretty high chance we can probably complete the 10 if they've done a 9 with the one button. Sure. Could they have gotten carried in that 9 and they didn't deserve the 9? Sure. But that happens with manual players as well. Same thing. Same situation. I'm about to invite this guy to my 10, even though he's completed a 9, but he got carried and won't have what it takes to complete the 10. You run that same risk with a manual player. Dude, I'm not going to say there's no cons, but I think the pros so outrageously, insanely outweigh the cons that it's a non-issue for me. And the reality is, bro, think about how many more players will play WoW with this button in a way that doesn't affect me. I'm doing 11s and 12s and 13s. This button doesn't affect my life. So it causes me no harm. But then when I want to chill out with the homies on my Ellie Shaman and I want to do some 2s and 3s, I'm going to use this button, dude. I'm going to use this button. And honestly, what I do a lot, like on my free time, when I'm in the mood to play some WoW and I got like maybe an hour of just me time, I will log in a WoW by myself. I'll listen to a podcast and I will just do a key. And for me, when I do that, even if I'm playing like my balance druid, I will probably use the one button so that I can really listen to the podcast and not really have to pay very much attention to the game other than dodging mechanics, using interrupts. Dude, I think this is really cool, bro. I think this is really cool. Last thing I'm going to do before I go, I'm going to go in about 30 minutes to drive to the tournament I'm casting in. I am going to do another dungeon on an Ellie Shaman, but I'm going to set up my utility. So my interrupts, my stuns, that kind of stuff. And it actually probably should already be. Yeah, gust of wind, thunderstorm, wind shear, totems, earth elemental. So everything should already be good. Cap totem. We're good. I'm going to do a follower dungeon. Actually, can I just turn all the add-ons on? Like, can I turn nameplates on? That would actually be sick. Coach, I got a friend of mine jumping into WoW today. Never played before. This one button would be huge. Honestly, dude, this is going to be massive for first-time players. Absolutely. Kissy, I've been playing for several years with a mouse macro that essentially is the same thing. Allows me to focus on mechanics more, and that's why my WoW Analyzer score is usually pretty high. I think it's litty, Kissy. I think, personal opinion here, I think in our community directly, Unity Gaming, I think we will see more people get into raiding. I really do. At a normal and heroic level, I think we'll actually see more people willing to take the jump into raiding because there is a massive barrier that has been removed for them. One, I'll be honest, I think there are some people, and I mean no disrespect by this, but there are some things that, you know, that are just true. There are some people who know so little about how to do their rotation that this one button will actually be, it'll be a damage increase for them. It'll be a damage increase for them. I think that's great. Like, can you hit as a raid leader, right? I've been a mythic raid leader. I've been a heroic. I've been all the things. If I am a raid leader, do I care if you are using one button? And again, I'm not gonna talk about cutting edge mythic super high end level rating. We're doing normals, we're doing heroics. If your one button is hitting the DPS checks, and it's probably going to be, honestly, it's probably going to be a little bit above DPS checks. In my opinion, I could be wrong about that. Do I care if you're using one button? If you're staying alive, doing mechanics properly, and hitting the DPS check I need you to hit? No. Now, if your damage is so, if the one button causes you to damage do so below the DPS check that it's causing us to enrage, then yeah, obviously I have a problem. But I don't think it's going to do that. I think for normal and heroic rating, I think this one button is going to be fine. And I think that's fantastic. Again, we won't know that for sure until, you know, we get in there, we test it. And I think there'll be a difference between early on in the season, like progression rating, like week 1, week 2, week 3. Will it be enough damage? Debatable. We'll see. I think it'll pretty much, I think it'll probably be good enough for normal, even on day 1, as long as you've at least got some decent gear from the last season. For normal, it's probably going to be good. Can you get early AOTC with the one button? And when I say early, I mean, like, I would consider early probably the first like 3 weeks, first month maybe. Debatable. But I think if a 2-3 month AOTC, which is what I think a lot of people do, if that's doable with the one button, which I do think it will be, obviously not for healers, and maybe not, that tanks have to use their defenses and stuff, but for DPS, I think it'll help them do damage, stay alive because they can focus on mechanics more. And I think it'll actually cause more people to give a rating a try because it's not so intimidating now. So we might even see more engagement in our community with raids. And I'm really hoping we will. Like, I really hope when this patch comes out, 11.1.7, that so many people want to try raiding for the first time. We need another raid team. I think it's sick. Hogan's complicated rotations probably shouldn't be a barrier for entry in high fantasy. I would 100% agree with that. I can't be a shadow priest because for the elite only. I totally agree. And that's why I like this one button thing, man. Because I don't want them to take away from the complexity of the game. I enjoy the super complex combat of this game. So to make it easier for people, I don't want them to change that. But this one button changes that without changing my high level gameplay. I think it's fantastic, bro. Let's jump into a dungeon. I do have all of my utility and everything set up. This is just a follower dungeon, so everything is going to get melted pretty quick. But I want to check out how it's going to feel to be just pressing the button and then manually doing interrupts and stuns and stuff like that. It's going to be sweet. Oh, Ox. Did you see the YouTube short I posted in Fellowship about the Fire Mage? No. There was no Fire Mage in the last test, right? So that would be brand new content. I actually want to check that out. Let me just change my profile here. Wait, there. Open profile settings. Okay, it's clearly bugged. Oh, good. Lead us, brother. Lead us. All right, all my damage will be one button, but interrupts and stuff I'm gonna do manually. Nice. Okay, after this, bro, I want to check out that dungeon then. I mean, check out that mage. Dude, and Ellie Shamans just look so cool, dude. They really do, bro. Okay, I manually interrupted that. Sick. This is sweet. Dude, this is so cool, man. Honestly, dude. This, I don't know, bro. This might make me just want to go casual, bro. And just chill in Discord. Laugh with people. Enjoy each other's company. Play the game that I love. And play a bunch of different classes. Because I don't need to worry about actually learning a ton of them. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm actually pretty excited about this, dude. Mag, I mean like full send it though, dude. Full send the cash. Yeah, there'll be memes. I popped the defensive manually there. I dodge. Dude, this. And I'll tell you what, dude. Do you know how useful this button is to a streamer, dude? You have any idea how useful this button is to a streamer? Wild, bro. Press one button and look at chat. Even if I'm a manual player, but I need to look at chat, for a few seconds I'll spam the one button, then I'll look back and go back to the rotation. Now that might be hard because you won't know where you left off, kind of thing. But dude, that is crazy cool, bro. That is crazy cool. Yeah, I am very curious to see, Kissy, if people could mythic raid with this button. I'm very curious. I'm not sure. And that people may have mixed opinions about. And I think it'd be fair to have some mixed opinions about that. Yeah, it's not solely that button. You still got to do mechanics. You still got to know when to pop your defensives, use your health pot. Your positioning's important, your decision making. There is much, much, much more to a mythic raider skill level than just knowing your rotation. Absolutely. And you cannot do damage if you're dead. But yo, this might be lit, dude. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Kissy. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this is gonna work. I'm very, very curious. Because I'll be honest, guys, and this is all gonna be a matter of opinion, and this is completely subjective. But even right now, I am manually pressing defensives. I put a cap totem down right there. I enjoy this dungeon. I enjoy the aesthetics. I love just looking at this shaman casting sick abilities, bro. Shamans have, I think, my favorite casting animations in the entire game. I'm still dodging mechanics. I'm having fun right now. This is enjoyable for me. And again, that's subjective. Some people are going to feel different for sure. But it is not sucking the fun out of the game for me. I am enjoying myself. I'd be enjoying myself more if we were doing a mythic and things weren't dying in 2 seconds. But like I'm enjoying this. This is cool. And because you know what I feel right now? I feel super attached still to the high fantasy of my character. Even though I'm not manually pressing my buttons, I feel very connected to the high fantasy, and I love that about WoW, dude. I love that about WoW. Dude, wow. And man, bro, I'm even formulating like just more of my thoughts as I play it, because you know what this is doing for me? This might sound crazy and I probably need to formulate my thoughts a little bit better, but this is making WoW feel more just like a normal video game again, where it's lowered a portion of the complexity to just feel like a chill, fun video game. Like when I'm doing higher keys on my paladin and I'm fully locked in, I love it. It's a ton of fun, but it definitely feels different than when I'm playing most video games. It because you just, your brain is firing on all cylinders. But right now, dude, it's kind of bringing me back to the days of being on the couch with an Xbox controller and just playing a console game. Like I'm vibing right now, dude. I am vibing. And I'm kind of all over it, dude. I'm kind of all over this, dude. This is actually kind of lit, dude. I vibe with this for sure. One thing I am curious about, though, I am curious how it is going to affect streamers, in terms of streamers who use the one button. Are they going to get flamed by the Twitch chat? And I have a feeling that the answer's gonna be yes. I think the answer's gonna be yes. I really do. I think Twitch streamers who use it are gonna get absolutely flamed, which is stupid. So stupid. I think it's so stupid. Mandel interrupt. I think it depends, obviously, on your community. Like, I don't think Unity is gonna flame me for using it on certain classes. But do I think people are not in the community, like a first-time viewer, not really our vibe, not really part of our culture? I think they would. Like, most people that watch people that do super duper duper high-end keys all the time, I think they're gonna be like, dude, really? You use the one button thing? Oh snap, dude, we're pumping. We're pumping, bro. Switch to you. Man, I really do not like having these in the middle of the screen. Oh, did you guys hear that they're gonna make this a built-in mechanic in the game? Yeah, see, all that stuff was manual. Ghost Wolf, Gust of Wind. And I like mechanics a lot, dude. I like mechanics a whole lot. I think this is gonna be great, dude. Absolutely, Messiah. I think it depends on who it is and what their community is like. I agree. But I'm talking about like just the general Twitch chat of like the entire internet as a whole. I think streamers might get flamed. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna use it, bro. That does not mean I'm not going to use it. Bro, you are going to catch me showing up to early birds with a one button, bro. You're going to catch me on an Ellie Shaman later in the season hanging out with Solanomo with one button, bro. As long as it does the damage that's needed. You're going to catch me hanging out with the community doing some keys. One button, bro. Like, you gonna catch me. And I'm here for it. Dude, these add-ons drive me nuts, dude. I don't want to disable all my add-ons. I don't want to do it. Yeah, bro. Absolutely litty, dude. Big vibing. Dude, he thought, though. He thought. Oh, yeah, bro. Twitch chat can be super toxic. That's why building a positive community is important, dude. Easy importante. My brain, ideas are spinning, dude. I think this is going to bring a lot of people back to the game, dude. I really think it's going to. I think it's going to bring a lot of people back that quit because the game got too complex, but they miss it. Cal, I think this is fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm on an Ellie Shaman right now who I do not know how to, well, barely know how to play. I did a little bit of research like a few years back, but not anything current. I think this is gonna be so great, man. Oh shoot, bro. This is, and I think a community like ours is really gonna thrive off something like this. Because I think some super high-end elitist communities, and again, not every high-end community is elitist. The two do not have to be the same. There's a lot of really positive, super high-end communities. But when you get into the typical elitist ones, they're like, oh, if you don't, you suck. They're gonna flame this button hard. Most of them anyway. But I think positive communities that are going to be really open to their players using this button, as long as it hits DPS checks and stuff, of course. Like, I think this button's going to be celebrated by our community, and even in the chat. We've had a few people that are like, I'm not really a big fan, but most of our community so far has been like, dude, this is a W. This is absolutely a W. Absolutely a W. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw Zaryu. I mean, everyone's got their opinion. I thought it was kind of an L take. Zaryu thinks it's a big F for WoW. And then it was funny watching, like, because Zaryu and Peekaboo are normally always, you know, doing stuff together. But Peekaboo was like, dude, this is horrible. This should not be in the game. And then Zaryu was like, no, sorry, backwards. Zaryu was like, this is horrible for the game. He's like, I feel invalidated. And then Peekaboo was like, this is sick, bro. I think it's a W. And I watched their clips. TikTok just gave me their clips back to back. So I was like, that's kind of funny. But yeah, people are gonna have their mixed opinions. I think it's a W. I think it's absolutely a W. And again, because it doesn't take anything away. If you are someone that's been practicing your class for 20 years and you're an absolute Giga Chad pumper and you're doing super high-end content, but other people use this button and they're probably not even playing with you. You know what I mean? Like, I do think it'll cause a little bit of division in the community, but I mean, welcome to the internet, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll see this button in super high keys. The reality is, like, let's look at this, right? I actually want to look at this. No, I think it was on Wowhead. It was like week 8 Mythic Plus completion, right? Let's check this out. And then I gotta go in like 10ish minutes. Let's go. Tony Stark, this could be a good and bad thing. When you look at your group's logs, you see a lot of people lacking on their DPS and are being severely carried. This button can help people play their eye level, but this can bring back people multi-boxing in raids, which can return a problem that once plagued the raiding scene. know if I see that happening in communities though. I mean, maybe in the pug scene, multi-boxing, but in a community, you're not gonna be able to multi-box. You're gonna get found out for sure. And then even in a pug, right? For example, let's say I am manual. I'm gonna speak for myself. If I am manually playing my balanced druid, I could do pretty decent damage on that. And we're doing the raid. And I am pumping, obliterating people that are using the one button. But the boss still dies and I get my gear. I don't really care if you're using the one button. If I carried you in damage, but the boss still died and I got my gear, I don't really care. Now, if we are wiping because the one button is not hitting DPS checks, very different story, right? But that would happen even if you weren't using the one button. And then at that point, it's up to the raid leader to set a standard for the raid team. Hey guys, the one button is cool as long as you hit DPS checks. And if it doesn't, then we gotta change something, right? But I think it also comes down to the culture of the raid team. What they allow, what they don't allow. Some raid teams may not allow the one button. That's cool. That is their right, right? It's the raid leader's right. If you want to be in this team, you can't use the button. And if you don't like that, well, go find another team, right? There may be some teams where it's a mix. They allow the button, but not everyone uses it. And yeah, like if it's causing tension between players, like it's not fair that I do twice his damage and he still got a piece of gear. That's up to the team to navigate. But all of those things still apply when everyone's manual, because you still will have players doing twice the damage of other people. It's all about the building of the actual team. And if people don't want the automatic button of their team, don't allow it. That's their right. That's fair. So I really don't see the button being the cause of some of these problems that are different than some of the problems that are already caused just by people, right? I actually think for some people, this button might be a DPS increase for them. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see in practice what happens. But I will say in World of Warcraft, most problems, not all problems, but most problems are player produced problems. Most of the problems are not actually a problem because of directly the game, right? Yeah, most people just can't resolve conflict. Most people don't know how to deal with tension or issues. But I don't think that'll be a direct result of this button. I think it's just people being people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, Cannibal, dude, I would like to see an only button presser raid, see how far they get. I think maybe about a month after the launch of a season, when your gear catches up a little bit, I'm pretty confident that someone who is using the auto one button, but knows how to dodge mechanics, knows when to use the defensives, I think they're going to be able to get AOTC. I really do. I really do. Now, if you don't know how to dodge mechanics and you don't know how to pop defensives, then you're going to die whether you're using the auto button or not, right? This button's not going to keep you alive. But for people who can live and do mechanics, but struggle to do that and do damage at the same time, this button actually just might make them better. And it might make them enjoy themselves more. Some people don't raid because for them it feels pretty high stress. And the reality is, like, unless you enjoy that, video games shouldn't feel high stress. This can take some of the stress out for someone who just wants to do normal heroic. You just kind of chill, lay back after a long day, hang out with their friends. It's gonna be fantastic, man. But if you're a super competitive high-end team and you want people doing the absolute best, then yeah, they're not allowed on your team. Totally cool. Totally cool. Totally cool. Yeah, try to innocent. Someone said that already. Yeah. And it could be. I hope not, but I also don't want to be naive either. Someone might make an add-on to determine if you're using the button and then not play with you. No way to know. No way to know. The other thing is that this could make some of the lazier raiders who are in raids or FOMO even lazier. It's going to be an interesting thing to see develop after it drops. But again, that, for me, that's not a Blizzard button problem. That is a raid team people culture problem. So if it makes people care less and then play less because they're getting lazier, then that is not a button problem. That is a player problem. That's a player problem. If I have a raider on my team and you're just clearly not giving a crap and you're not contributing the way other people are, it's a you problem, and you'll probably be off my team, but not because of the button, but because of your attitude. So it's a different, again, it's not most problems are people problems. It's just the unfortunate part. Most problems are people problems. The button might even reveal, dude. It might even reveal all this time I didn't realize you were doing the bare minimum. Who knows? Who knows? Coach, I don't like raiding because doing the same fight 15 times in a row drives me nuts. Yeah, no, yeah, if you don't like progression or wiping, probably not for you. But ideally, like, if you find, and this is what it's hard to do, but that's why I love, like, a lot of our raid teams who just want to do normal heroic, because a lot of them, like, they're proficient players. Like, they're getting the content done. They just either don't want to learn to play the game at a super duper duper high level, or don't want to commit the time at a super duper high level, or don't want the responsibility of it. Like for example, I think of Viking. I think Viking is a great player, right? Leader of Solonoma, great player. He's like, dude, I got a family, full-time job. I'm not really looking to do mythic raiding. Just want to chill, hang out with the homies. And they get AOTC in a reasonable amount of pulls. Now, if you're like, I don't even like 10, 15, 20 pulls, then that's probably just like, then raiding probably is just not for you at all, because you're not going to one-shot every boss. Unless you find a group of absolutely cracked out, retired mythic raiders who don't want to mythic raid anymore, but they still want to like one-shot everything. I mean, that's such a unique niche situation. I mean, all right, it is already 12. I don't have time to look at this. I do want to check out the fellowship video from Ox. I do want to see that. But I was gonna look at what percentage of people I think
it's been a little while since we saw Adi.
But that's what I'll look at now. Let me see.
So I've been going through the latest development build for Fellowship to see if I can spot any new things that I can share with all of you. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the new Fire Frogs skill that you might have seen in one of our recent trailers. Aside from just looking super adorable, these little guys will hunt down targets and apply a dot that will burn your enemies for 12 seconds.
Interesting.
The cool thing is that you can use this on packs of enemies or even individual targets, so you can get creative about ways to maximize the damage. Oh wait, where'd that prog go? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. It's been a little while since we saw...
Interesting. So new class coming to Fellowship in development. Fire Mage. Interesting. The frogs? I mean, yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Mag, by the way, thank you for highlighting that. You are absolutely a legend as well. Gotta send that to Trin. It'll be good to go. Oh, Broseph. AJ, I just saw what you did. And AJ, you are literally a legend. Hey, before I head out, guys, let me show you guys what is going on tonight. Tonight, friends, I have the honor and privilege to actually be commentating a Fortnite and Super Smash Brothers tournament in person in front of a live audience and live on stream literally tonight here in Salem, Oregon. So if you guys want to watch this and watch me and Sweet Olajuwon, who watches the stream as well, do a little duo commentating, tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be right here on this channel, on the Satellite Gaming channel. Satellite Gaming is the people actually running the tournament. They are a youth-based gaming organization that focus on after-school programs, impacting, the next generation of gamers. And so really, really awesome. The leader of it watches a stream, friend of mine, great guy. And so we'll be there tonight. I'm literally going to get in my car. I'm going to eat a quick lunch, get over there, help set up a little bit, and then literally I'll be there for the rest of the night. So 8 p.m. Eastern is when it starts. If you guys want to be able to watch, it's going to be an absolute blast. And AJ made this graphic because he is a absolute Chad. Absolute Chad. Guys, thank you so much, man. Y'all are incredible. Y'all are beautiful. I appreciate your faces. I love y'all. I'll see y'all back here in what's that, 5 hours? Hey. Oh, Icon, he's been cooking. The dude is always cooking. The dude is always cooking. Friends, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. If you guys are interested in checking out XP Church for Gamers tomorrow, my wife and I do lead an actual church for gamers and would love to have you be a part. Tomorrow, I'm starting a brand new series, Dangerous Doctrine. And if you want to come hear all about it, we'd love to have you. Musical worship. We do a giveaway every weekend. And then we do sermons where we use video game analogies to help people understand the truth that God loves gamers just like you. Friends, we love you. Y'all are beautiful. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Let's go.